Welcome back to Blake's Take. Yeah, that's Garrett interrupting things already. All right. Welcome back to Blake's Takes, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode. We have, as always, my co-host, Garrett.
Hello, guys.
And we have a guest today, Snowden, who will be giving us his opinions on Inside Out and Pixar today. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you fellas?
Doing
pretty good. A little short story of how we met, actually. So Snowden has his own TikTok as well, where you talk about mostly like theme park stuff, Disney, Pixar.
Yeah. Just whatever floats my boat that day.
Yeah, whatever that day, right?
That's it.
But I was heading into Animal Kingdom with my girlfriend, and Snowden was coming out of Animal Kingdom.
I was going to a wedding.
You were. So you were in a little bit of a rush.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a fan of the channel, came up to me, introduced himself, great guy, and since then we've just been kicking it.
Brother, I was so nervous when I first introduced. I was like, yo, you got a podcast, right? You got TikTok? He's like, yeah, and I was like, oh. Man, I watch your stuff. I was like, I wish I could chop it up some more. Got a wedding like an hour away. I got a dip.
But yeah, since then, got to meet up at MegaCon. So yeah, I'm actually, y'all probably seen him on the TikTok. With his,
we have had him on the TikTok before, getting his opinions at MegaCon.
Some hot takes, maybe.
Fun stuff. Thanks for the comments.
That's one thing you can always rely on TikTok is the comments.
Hey, just goes to show you, man. Don't be afraid to come and say hi. Please say hi
absolutely.
if you guys ever see us in public.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Swell guys.
Yeah.
Swell guys.
Thank you. You too. Got to go to Magic Kingdom with you. He invited me to at least try to get on an early access for Tiana's Bayou ride. We weren't able to make it that day.
No, but we went on Pirates of the Caribbean.
We did.
Nice.
Pirates is always a vibe.
If you just sing Almost There,
yeah.
it's pretty much the same ride.
Yeah.
There's a little drop.
Have you been able to do it yet?
I did. I snuck
How was
on.
it? You snuck on?
Don't tell anybody.
Okay. Well, I mean,
no,
I cut that.
No, you're fine. Swell ride.
Yeah.
Swell ride. I think it is worthy of the replacement for Splash Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I never hated Splash Mountain. It was always one of those top Disney rides.
Yeah.
But like the more you look into the subject matter,
right,
it got touchy. So I was like, no. I respect Disney for being like, hey,
yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Let us, appease people and make them feel more welcome. I feel like that's what got lost a lot because people were so attached to the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it's like,
I was never
at this point, it was
attached
just
to
like
it.
nostalgia.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think people remember that ride with rose tinted glasses anyway.
Yeah.
Because anytime you rode Splash Mountain, that shit was broke.
Yeah,
it was
really.
So many animatronics had the little like winking eye and they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. Things weren't moving when they were supposed to. And it's like, this ride needed to be touched up on.
Yes.
I think you guys are just upset that they went full out with it. That was the issue.
Yeah.
That's it.
With how it looks too, like all the small little details, it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah. It's a beautiful attraction. Like once you get inside and everything like that, you're just like,
Also,
okay.
Are the animatronics like really cool and detailed? Really good?
Fantastic. Okay. Like that was one of my biggest things. I was like, when it comes to the animatronics, do not be lazy.
Yeah.
Because one, if we're looking at Tiana as a character, she's facing an uphill battle already. You're putting a black princess in Splash Mountain, which is Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
Do not give anybody a reason to crap on this ride prematurely.
Yeah.
Which they ended up doing anyway. But the animatronics are glowing. It's fantastic. And we went on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train a couple of days ago, and to see the dwarf faces, and I was like, you're so close to perfection.
Yeah.
Why make this really elaborate animatronic and then make a screen as the face?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
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 And I mean, they do that obviously like money reasons because that is going to be the most intricate part of any animatronic is getting the facial details.
When we were at Magic Kingdom, you were telling me how Guardians was supposed to have animatronics, which I did not know.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
Yeah. Which is why that room is so big.
Correct. And then even at the end of the ride, like when you're at the little part where they're all like, welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Each one of them was supposed to have an animatronic right there.
Damn.
The Nova Corps ship, the Star, I think it's a cruiser. I could be wrong. But outside, it was somehow supposed to be floating. You were also supposed to have like Groot and Rocket like walking around, like Rocket was supposed to be on the shoulder of somebody walking around and stuff.
Dang.
All these things got pitched. It's the same thing with like Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be a living, breathing land. The way that they pitched it, they were like, it's the most immersive thing in the world. You'll have droids walking around. You'll have people speaking in different alien languages. You'll have this. You'll have a restaurant instead of just the cantina.
Yeah.
And then slice.
Yeah.
So everything kind of gets lost and pushed to the
I feel
wayside.
like the Guardians ride is just the Guardians ride. Like there's not much environment around the Guardians ride.
Which is a problem that I have with that as well.
Right.
Because like
fire ride, but
fantastic. But if it feels out of place where it's at.
I feel you.
It's right next to mission space and test track.
It's kind of just like another ride. It's not its own immersive world.
Correct.
Like a lot of those other new rides.
It's not like Avatar where it's tucked away into the back. I only experience stuff from James Cameron's world that he envisioned right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be different if like you go on Flight of Passage and then I look right here and Nemo is like, hey man, you see hey man, look at my fin, baby. It's one of those situations.
No, because even though you don't get to really experience Animal Kingdom at nighttime, or at least Pandora World.
Yeah.
But that is still one of the fun things about doing Flight of Passage. Even the Navi River run, which isn't like the most exciting ride, but just being in Pandora World is still pretty damn cool.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I feel like they should have captured the Guardians aesthetic like that. Same thing with Tron though over in Magic Kingdom.
Right.
I feel like they could have done much more with that.
Yeah, no, it's a very small area because you got Space Mountain and then boom, Tron, and it's just like,
and then the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Yeah,
and you're like,
because Tomorrowland is already kind of outdated.
Yeah,
which I still like Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Tron area is very small itself.
Yeah.
And I haven't done that ride at night yet.
I gotta get a Disney pass.
You're not really a theme park boy.
No, not very much. But I mean, I'd get a Disney pass for a year.
Well, you had a Universal pass, but you didn't really take advantage of that.
I went a decent amount of times, not as much as you. But
did you bang with Universal, or do you bang with me, Universal?
I like Universal. Yeah.
Do you prefer it over Disney?
To be honest, I don't think I've been to Disney enough to even make that decision.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I like them both.
Yeah, they
like,
both have their
I know
perks.
that the big debate is like, oh, Marvel, DC, Coke or Pepsi. It's Universal or Disney, and it's like,
why can't I like both?
Correct.
They're both cool parks.
Because no matter how much you shake it, Universal Spider-Man ride is one of the best things that I've ever been on. Velocicoaster, one of the best roller coasters that I've ever been on.
Yeah, Hagrid's
never been on it.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah, no, the calf muscles don't fit.
So calf muscles ride. The Tron calf muscles are tight too.
Yup. Had to sit in the car. I was like, thanks. Yeah. Thanks. I guess I'll sit here. Whatever.
Damn.
That was one of our friends. He did an early thing for Tron, and he's like, "Yeah, the calves are really fucking tight." But yeah,
that's
Hagrid's
the only
cool.
situation. But it's all right. It's all right. Give me a couple months.
I would definitely say Universal has more. If you're an adult, like you want more like heart pounding rides, thriller rides.
Yeah.
Definitely IOA Universal with the Rockin' Riptide,
and with Epic Universe.
Yeah,
it looks sick.
Yeah, that's coming.
Their Dark Universe, that little spot. Like I don't know if you guys saw the video, but they just dropped like the preview of what that's supposed to be. I was like, okay.
I think Universal is definitely the more adult park, and then you got Halloween Horror Nights just to add to that, which is great.
You know what? No, we were talking about this the other week. I'm gonna make you come this year. I know you've been, right?
Bro, I was about to stop it myself.
Oh shit. No Diddy,
no Halloween Horror Nights.
You've been though, right? Once?
Yeah. No, I've gone twice.
Gone a few times? Okay.
And like it's always to the abandonment of my well-being because my friends are like, just go. It's so fun. And I'm like, it's so not fun. It's not. Catch me over at Mickey's Not So Scary, baby. Cruella walks in the streets and I go, ooh. Where'd she come from? Meanwhile, you guys are like, yeah, Chucky. And I'm like, ugh.
I love it, man.
I love it.
You just sign up for that stuff.
Yeah. It's great. Honestly, Halloween Horror Nights is like tame compared to some of the other attractions that you can do during Halloween, bro. There is some crazy like attractions out there during Halloween season
where they can touch you.
They can touch you. There's one where you have to sign a waiver before you go in because they can literally kidnap you and bring you to like a separate room. It's wild. I might be thinking of Screamageddon. I think it's Screamageddon, and dude, that shit is wild.
I'm not doing that.
I've never done one of those because I don't trust people to touch me like that.
But have you done Mickey's Not So Scary? Like Jack Skellington comes out, and you're like, whoa, that guy's scary. It's a skeleton walking and talking.
This guy hasn't done it, and you love Jack Skellington.
I do love Jack Skellington. I think Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite Disney movie. I think so.
It's technically Disney.
Well, yeah, but also so is Pirates of the Caribbean. So it might be a race between those two. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the. I'm a spooky guy.
I was gonna say, does it have to do with the subject matter and how it was made, and like, because I know you like music, so does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's a big thing for me.
I personally hate Jack Skellington.
Wow.
I think he goes through the movie and he doesn't learn a thing. And I feel bad for Sally because she's a down bitch. And I'm sorry, can you curse?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, she's a down bitch.
Yes,
and she's trying to help mans the whole movie. And he's like, okay, you're good.
Okay, so the one thing that I can agree on is like him and Sally's relationship. I'm like, okay, if it does feel kind of forced.
Yeah.
You know, she's a ride or die when she's not really given anything to ride for.
Correct. And then people call Oogie Boogie the villain. And I'm like, one of these two people were willing to hijack a whole other holiday. And it wasn't the boogeyman. He was just ready to eat mans. That seems like it's in his character. That's fine with me.
That's just his nature.
The dude who went over and started eating snow and stealing cookies and reindeer and stuff like that seems more villainous than, hey, that fat guy, it's kind of scrumptious. Throw him on the plate, baby.
I think the music is so fucking good though, like bangers. And
I feel like you're just a fan of stop motion.
Stop motion, the world that it has and everything, and it just being Halloween, like it's like the most Halloween and Christmas. Those are my two favorite holidays.
I was just about to say that.
So you throw in Christmas and Halloween, and I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna fold like a lawn chair.
Got
for that.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a sucker.
But also,
those are good holidays though. Like, listen, the scary stuff.
Oh, give me
spooks me.
Give
but
me
like everything else about Halloween, I'm like, I'm cool. I'm cool. Let me get a Snicker bar.
So let's get into business. Today we're talking about Pixar, Inside Out 2, what the best Disney sequel is, and then cherry on top, we're gonna go through our Pixar ranking. Me and Garrett are gonna give our top 10 Pixar movies, as well as Snowden. But I asked him, because I know he's a Pixar guy, Disney guy, so I asked him if he could rank all 28 Pixar movies, and he said he could.
Yeah.
So let's see what he brings to the table.
We'll see how it goes
at the end of the episode when it comes to that. All right. So I just want to get general thoughts about Inside Out 2. It's doing fantastic at the box office. It's already crossed Dune 2 as the highest grossing movie of the year, highest grossing domestic movie of the year.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, people aren't boycotting Disney, huh?
No.
Don't seem like it.
I guess they took the break. They took a break this time.
It's like he gave us the sequel we wanted. We'll go
watch it. Highest grossing of the movie of the year. It's got some great critical reception, general positive reviews. What are you guys' general thoughts about it?
You're the guest. Go first.
Really enjoyed it. I am not one who liked the first one all that much. Like I remember watching it and I was like, okay, really? That was a film. There's a stretch of time when it comes to Pixar that I wasn't really banging with their films. And I think it started with Cars and then it ended with Inside Out, I want to say. So like,
because after that was like Coco, Onward,
but
Soul.
that little area right here where it was like Wall-E, Up, Ratatouille, all those, I was like, not for me. And then it got to Inside Out and I was like, no, not this one either.
Really?
And then, like you said, like Coco and everything started bringing me back in. Yeah.
Because I feel like that's like my core of
Pixar.
Some of them, like that's like some of my core. Obviously, there's some that predate that, and some that come after that. But those movies you just named, like that's like it's in there.
Allow me to put this into perspective. I think I'm like, not to out myself, I think I'm older than you. My core films happened back here.
Yeah.
So like by the time these ones came out, I was already like, all right, yeah, man, I'm into. I'm watching Silent Library on MTV now. I don't want to watch a rat cook. So like mentally, I just wasn't there for those films and stuff like that. But like as I've gone back and rewatched them, I'm like, okay, I see why people like them.
Right.
Like I rewatched Inside Out to watch Inside Out 2, and I was like, okay, I know what my problems were, and they're still here, but I can appreciate this film and like the cleverness. I don't even know if that's a word. The clever way that they
I think so.
No, it's a word.
express like what happens in somebody's mind.
Yeah.
Like I think long-term memory is probably one of my favorite things in the Inside Out film series.
Like with how that works.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then like the imaginary characters, the different islands that make up a personality.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, at that time I was just like, bro, I don't care. But like watching it now, I'm like, oh, this is kind of deep.
Yeah.
I like this.
It's funny you say that too, because I feel like a lot of rankings you see these days, man, Ratatouille and WALL-E are at like the top of the leaderboards for a lot of people. Even some people that are a little older than me, because they're trying to move away. I feel like they try to move away from trying to be too nostalgic with like the Toy Stories and the Monsters Inc. So like, Ratatouille is number one.
Right. Or WALL-E, because it's silent in the beginning.
Right.
And it's like prestigious. Don't get me wrong, I get that.
Yes.
But it's like, but you got to talk about the full movie. Don't talk to me about only the good parts. That's one of my issues. Like, we'll talk about it with the rankings, but like that's one of my big problems with a beloved Pixar film. And I'm just like, you guys talk about this and that.
Yeah.
But then all this happens.
Okay, but I'm curious, what in particular is the downsides of WALL-E?
Of WALL-E?
Yeah.
I don't like when the humans come in. When it becomes that side of the story, the beginning where there is no dialogue, there's nothing. Yeah. You're just seeing the bond between Eve and WALL-E.
Yeah.
And like seeing him trying to like humanize this robot in situations that they get into. Beautiful. And then as soon as she gets that plant and they go up to, is it called the Axiom?
I forget.
I want to say it's the Axiom.
Whatever.
But as soon as they go up, that's when I go, oh, all right, man.
The magic is over.
I don't care as much anymore, because now what felt like a very intimate story between two robots.
And a very different Pixar movie too.
And then you get into, hey, the ship is in control.
Okay.
All the little fat people are on these little wheelie things that have no wheels. Oh, hey, man. It just loses me once dialogue hits the film. The music is wonderful. The visuals are wonderful. Even like the moments like later in the film when they're in space and he has like the little fire hydrant.
Okay. A lot of people do praise the visuals for
I just
WALL-E.
do not like any of the human stuff. That's my issue with WALL-E.
Okay.
But you need that because that's the whole point of WALL-E. You know what I mean?
Is it kind of like teach the human race how to care again?
Correct. So like I understand that it's needed in the movie. It's just that's when I go, we had something really good here, guys. Like, could you imagine if Pixar just stayed
what ruined it.
just quiet?
Yeah.
For an entire movie. That would have been bold. It would have been crazy.
And I think they could have done it too.
100%.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that takes up a good chunk of the movie. But
you know what? There's definitely going to be a business move where it's like, well, these are also kids watching this movie. They're not going to be engaged the whole time.
That's fair.
So I feel like with an older audience, for sure, they can definitely engage with that and stay with it. But for like trying to also not to entertain kids as well,
children and stuff like that.
Do you think there's Pixar movies? Do you think Pixar needs to start targeting an older audience and start making movies that could appeal to an older audience?
Well, that was the beautiful thing I feel like about the older Pixar films is that they were targeted towards kids and adults, like everybody, because adults could definitely connect with them, especially like the Toy Story movies, Monsters Inc. Yes. And maybe that was kind of lost for like a little bit in there
because it became more about merchandise.
Right.
I feel like Cars is the big turning point because they were like, we make billions off of Lightning McQueen and them. So let's just keep doing this instead of focusing. Even Cars is a more like adult story about like finding who you are and like everything that you think matters doesn't necessarily does, and sometimes you need to slow down. As a kid, I didn't get that. I just saw a red red race car riding around, but money happened.
Well, and I think Inside Out 2
is pretty guilty of that.
That's fair.
But I do, that is one thing I did like about Inside Out 2 is I feel like it was definitely a step in the right direction of also having kids and adults come back and relating to these films. I mean, how could you not with a movie like Inside Out 2 bring in all these, emotions that us as adults definitely go through with anxiety and
I blew into the mic. My fault. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, that is one thing that I did enjoy about Inside Out 2.
Did you two cry?
Not for Inside Out 2. And I bawled like
on the first one?
I bawled like a girl on the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
I felt like the stakes were a lot higher in the first one.
Yeah,
because
that.
She was moving to a new town. She has this horrible idea like, oh, if I just go back to, that's where all my good memories are. If I go back and I can make more good memories there.
Gotcha.
And that's where all my friends are. Like, I don't know, like her actions were just like way more off the rails. And so the stakes just didn't feel as high.
Sure. This one got me.
Yeah.
The first one did not. I remember seeing the first one in theaters. And like, spoiler, if you haven't seen the first Inside Out.
I mean,
the moment I sat down.
If you're here, you know this.
Correct. I saw Bing Bong. I went, Mans is not making it out of this movie. And then he didn't. And I went, okay. Didn't move me at all. I don't really think anything in the first one pushed me to the point where I was like, yeah, tears are gonna well up.
Bing Bong got me. Yeah.
And this one though, I think there's 3 specific moments that get me.
Yeah.
The first one is when Joy is like trying to get to the top of long term to see exactly where the dark part of the mind is, and like anger, disgust, and fear like just on her, and they're like, yo, grow up, like she doesn't need us, she doesn't need you, blah 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 blah. And if you don't know this, you're delusional. And then the moment where she breaks down, she's like, no, you're right, my fault, but I have to try.
Yeah.
And then to see them all kind of band behind her, I was like, oh,
no, that was a really good scene.
That's good.
That was a good scene. And the animation was beautiful during that scene too.
Yeah. Oh,
just
I love when they
like the facial expressions that they make.
And that, like and also I love when they get close up. You can see like little, almost like flakes of
fuzz?
energy. Yeah. It's like energy coming off of them. It's kind of cool.
The other one that got me was a little, like maybe like 10 minutes later, where anxiety like breaks the little tube to bring them back. And like Joy delivers the line. I guess that's what happens when you grow up. Yeah. You feel less joy or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
brother. And then
that's a real statement.
The anxiety attack gets me going. I'm like, because anybody who's been in that situation, you're like, I know what she's going through, and it's not easy. It's like I'm sitting next to like my fiance, and I'm like, this isn't getting you. She's like, not as much, and I'm like, oh. Because like I attribute that scene because I make music.
Yeah.
So things happen in life and then you kind of fall out of the passion that you're known for. And then you just kind of feel like I'm not good enough. I can't do it. 100%. Nobody's looking to hear my music. What more do I have to say? Is it catchy enough? And today's realm of music, do I stand out? Blah, 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 blah. So you get in your head about that.
Yes.
And then to see her go through the attack and stuff like that. And then moments after seeing her like need joy and the little skate that she was doing, boom. Because like I just recorded like a new single and like it felt so good to be back in what was the swing of things.
But
just
then what
believing
comes
in yourself.
after
Right. And you're just like, it's like this huge weight off your shoulders. And I think that's why I like this one more.
Okay.
I didn't really have a situation where like I moved in the first one, you know what I mean? Where there was like a big status change that happened. So nothing really attached me to that one. Also something that they do very well in this one, they made Riley a character instead of just a backdrop. And I love that. I know what you said where it's like, oh, like maybe her actions are crazy in the first one. Yeah. But this one, I felt like I knew who Riley.
You knew Riley better. Yeah. It was more so, it was more so focused on the emotions in the first one.
Right. And this one, seeing her interact with people, and like seeing how the emotions, like how they do dictate on how she reacts to things or it goes about doing things in certain situations. You're just like, oh, that's what was missing from the first one. I didn't care about Riley.
Yeah.
You guys made me care about joy and sadness, which I get they're your main characters, but like for them to work, Riley also has to work.
The relationship between Riley and her emotions was a lot more clear.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I think it's a really good movie. It made me cry. There were a couple emotions I didn't care about. And that's why I can't give it like a full 10.
Yeah.
I didn't care for
which ones?
Ennui and I didn't care for Envy.
Okay. Envy, they didn't have much.
I don't think they gave. Okay. I think Envy may have just been a weird emotion to throw in there. I think they definitely could have done another emotion.
I think they could have done without her.
I do love her voice acting though. Io. Yeah. From The Bear, as we all know and love her from. What else?
I actually experienced her in Ninja Turtles first.
Really?
And then I watched The Bear after. Okay. And then I watched Bottoms. I'm in love with her now.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic. Yeah. And they showed some behind the scene footage as well of her, voice acting Envy. And everyone was like, oh, she is made for this. Yeah. Like she was so animated with it. But yeah, she just didn't have a whole lot to do.
The way that I wish it would have went. I love the way that the story goes about. And at a certain point, I wished, because Envy doesn't do anything envious. You know what I mean? In that movie. So it's so weird that, like you said, that emotion is there.
Yeah.
I thought what would have made it 10 times better, like for her character and everything, if during like the whole thing, she's like building up, like, I want to be in control of Riley. I want to be where you're at.
Yeah.
So like once anxiety kicks Joy and everybody else out, she's like, solid. Half my plan is already done.
Yeah.
So then when anxiety has the attack, I was like, oh, this is the moment where Envy steps up and she's like, this is me now. This is me. You've broken yourself.
Yeah.
You have already shown you're not fit to be ruling this little girl's head. It's me. And like, I thought that would fit because even at that age, what is she, like 13?
Yes.
I think everybody's envious of kids around your age. Like if someone had, when I was younger, like the iPhone came out, I had like a flip phone. I had a Sidekick, which looking back now, I'm like, man, I wish I had that Sidekick. But when the iPhone came out, I was like, Sidekick. I need that because you have that. Yeah. Like you have that envious thought, but you don't know it as a kid.
I think that popped up a lot for me because I always played sports. So, I was always good. I always, tried as hard as I could. And yeah, I was really good, but it was always second best. It was always that player that was better than me. So it's like, damn, I'm always in the shadow.
Right.
Ooh.
So I just wish they would have done more with envy.
I'm just thinking about my sports career as you were describing that. I'm like,
your sports career?
Yeah, I was in everybody's fucking shadow.
Well, yeah, there wasn't much of a.
At least you were in one person.
Were you really?
Basically, yeah.
I was the more athletic one growing up.
Yeah. They also had me, a 170-pound kid, playing defensive line. So. The fuck am I gonna do there?
You try.
So whatever.
Give it your all.
Yeah, basically that was about it.
One scene that I really enjoyed was when they were like in Anxiety's headquarters, where all those other employees were drawing up situations that were going through Riley's mind, and yeah, it's like just shows you there are a lot of situations that we go through. We have anxiety because we are putting all of these different situations, like bad situations in our head of the way things could go.
Sure.
And like, if you just, it's not that easy, but you start thinking things in a more positive light.
Yeah.
Calm you down.
And yeah, if you have that many bad thoughts running through your head, you are going to have an anxiety attack just like Riley did. And, there comes a point where you just have to say to yourself, like, look, for one, the odds of any of these situations happening is so small. Like you just have to think in a positive light.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to do exactly what anxiety did and just run yourself into the ground.
Also, the visual of like the storm happening, but she's like standing still.
That was cool.
Who at Pixar was like, this is how an anxiety attack looks. In the inside. You feel me? It's just
and anxiety moving so fast that she was like basically glitching in the one spot.
That was she was like, yo, stop.
Yeah. No, she was moving so fast that she was frozen. Which is exactly how you feel. Like you feel like you can't do anything.
So solid.
Even though you're moving at 100 miles per hour.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like your mind does not stop. You're just like,
yeah.
Any other scenes that we liked?
The sarcasm was kind of funny.
Sarcasm was funny.
I agree. I like that the emotions that we already knew got more to do in this one. I like having Joy play off of fear, disgust, and anger more than sadness.
Yeah. I like seeing them work better as a team.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Instead of just, hey, we're all individuals in her head. Yeah. I said this one feels like they're more like a tight-knit family. Embarrassment.
You rock with him?
I liked embarrassment. I was like, all right. When he started talking at the end, I was like,
oh.
All right, brother. All right.
Well, yeah, because in the beginning, too, we do see them like sleep together in a room. So it is more of a family knit thing. Where you don't see that in the first one.
And it was more so in the first one, like Joy was like, okay, I like need to be at the head table at all times. And it's like, if she feels any other emotion besides what I'm feeling, other than joy, like that's not a good memory. Yeah, like she saw no place for sadness. She's like, if sadness is a part of this memory, it's not going to be good.
But that was also part of the story for the first one.
I understand, but I'm just saying.
I'm talking about my girl like that. Guys.
Yeah, I was appreciating that they were learning from the first movie.
Yeah. No, for sure. You got to learn.
I think the dad, he was like, yeah, big weekend. What you trying to get into, baby? That was funny.
Shit, see a little some adult humor in there.
I just also like the teamwork scene and the hockey aspect of stuff. Like when her being Riley and her two friends were like interacting, they were like thread the needle and she like turned the stick. I was like, all right, Riley. That's kind of sick.
That was one point I was like, is any 13-year-old this good at hockey?
Perhaps. I can't name a single hockey player except Riley from Inside Out.
Yeah.
Maybe the Mighty Ducks.
You know what?
Yeah.
I used to be able to, but I don't think anymore. I'm not a hockey guy. When the playoffs come around, I'll watch every once in a while, but I'm not much of a hockey guy.
I don't know. I guess I didn't feel as emotionally impacted as I did in the first one.
I think that was the main thing for me is I guess I didn't feel the emotional connection I felt.
Is it because
you
were returning to it? Like if this would have been like the first one, do you think it would have hit you like the first one
Probably.
did?
Maybe. Probably. Yeah.
But because you were already used to like what these emotions go through and the stories that they can tell inside this person's mind. And it's not new anymore, I guess.
I also think your certain environments that you watch movies in definitely has an impact on your emotional connection to the films. And like, there's been plenty of theater experiences where, I have a very deep emotional connection to it. But like the first Inside Out, I didn't see that in theaters. Like I watched it at home. I did watch it with Summer though, and so I was still with someone because usually I like to watch movies alone, so I can just like fucking
let it go.
So yeah, she was watching it with me though when I did let it out. But yeah, we went with a group for this one, and I just wasn't like, I don't know. I just didn't cry.
I think sadness was a much more universal emotion for people to connect to in the first one compared to this one, because I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody has anxiety, but I feel like there's definitely people out there who do have anxiety, like Riley had in this movie, and they can relate to that a lot heavier.
From what I'm seeing, she's the standout character for everybody. Inside. The way the sadness was for the first one, everybody's gravitating towards anxiety.
And like me personally, I feel like I'm not a very anxious person about most things.
He's always been like that.
I mean,
you just go through carefree.
I mean, kind of. I'm like, I feel like my mindset is like, can't really do shit about it. Like if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like things I can't control, you live
that's a beautiful life. I can't say I was nervous about coming here today.
I can't. Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'll get nervous about stuff, but it's
it
like
overtake the situation.
I try not to overthink certain situations, and if I do, honestly, I think the most overthinking I do is like if I was like at a party and I was partying a little too hard. I did something that embarrassed myself, where I'll be like, oh, did they think that was like trashy or whatever? And then like, and normally if I am going through a thought process like that, like I'll apologize for my behavior the following day. If I ever do get a feeling like that, I just like to address it.
Okay. I definitely get more anxiety than him. Yeah, for sure. When we were doing the Avatar interview for the live action cast.
Yeah.
I was going through it,
and we were literally showing everybody the videos, and everybody was like, "Man, Blake looks nervous" when they were watching.
But you know what's funny? It's a big moment.
It is for sure. It's not like it's unjustified, but it was just kind of funny that was their first comment when they were watching it.
Well, and that's funny because then we showed Dad, and he's like, "Oh, you don't look nervous." I'm like, "Really?" Because I was.
I think that's telling about Dad, because Dad is not good at picking his reading. He's not good at reading people at all. That's what it was. He's not good. He's not aware.
On your side. That's the important part.
He's not aware of social situations.
Oh my God, I was so nervous.
Like, yeah, you look good.
Yeah.
You look great, kid.
I think what also threw him off is like when we first started that interview, there was like some guy who was running the camera or whatever. He was like,
fucked me up, man.
He did fuck him up. He was like, we can't hear you. And then the actual actors were like, no, we can hear him. Like, what are you talking about?
Sort of
and then
threw me off, so I had to like start over.
Yeah, so he was like ready to go, and then so he was like kind of stuttering, getting back into it, and then I kind of jumped in. I was like, hey guys, like thanks so much for having us. So. Like, kind of threw him off at first, but
fucking.
Were you better before that moment?
Yeah, I was like, because I had it,
and
laid out.
And also because we just went through like a 30-minute process with this guy, like checking the speaker, checking audio. Like we were changing how they were getting our audio so it would sound better.
Yeah, we were in this virtual green room, and there was this guy, like PR guy this IT guy.
IT guy. Like he was going through everything,
making sure everything was set up properly. The sound was good.
And because like we had a camera plugged in, so our visuals would be better for them. But he was like, and we were kind of using the computer audio. He was like, look, if he was like saying, hey, don't worry about the camera quality, like focus on audio. Like if you can have your audio quality better, do that. So we were switching things around and plugging in microphones so everything sounded better.
Yeah. All right.
So we just went through this whole process, and then the guy's like, we can't hear you. I'm like, then what the fuck did we just do that for 30 minutes for?
Yeah. But we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out, though.
Oh, my goodness. Good news is it happened. You made it through it.
Yeah, we made it. We made it. My God. It was successful, Oh shit. All right, let's go over some questions that I think will bring up some discussions as well. With Inside Out 2's box office success, does this show us that Pixar is still at the top of the food chain when it comes to animation studios?
I wouldn't say, maybe box office wise, I maybe top, but as far as
in terms of
quality wise, I wouldn't say top. Honestly, I feel like it's a pretty even playing field when it comes to animation these days.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. Because even movies that you expect to hit it out of the park don't come out the same way that you expected. Like, honestly, I thought Spider-Verse was making $1 billion last year.
Dude, I thought
it was making more than $1 billion.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
No.
When it comes to Pixar, I know things have been rocky for them. Like they didn't know if their films are going to come out on Disney Plus or if they were coming straight to theater or whatever it was. I think I know a lot of people are trying to chalk it up to a return to form. Give me one more.
Yeah.
Give me one more to show we're going in the direction that you guys
prove that you're
good at telling your stories again. That you're back on track. Because one can be seen as a fluke. And a lot of people are waiting for Pixar to drop their next one. And be like, see, yeah, you guys aren't back. You guys aren't back. But like, if a second one comes out, they're gonna be like, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Some consistency.
We can't pop shit anymore.
Yeah.
Time's over.
I think the name Pixar definitely helps with the box office numbers for sure. I mean, DreamWorks you look at DreamWorks catalog, they definitely have a lot of bangers.
Yeah.
You know, with the Shrek franchise, well, at least 1 and 2.
I hold Huh?
What?
What were you about to say? Did you say 1 and 2?
Are bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Shrek.
Shrek 1 and 2. Yeah.
Okay. To be honest, I haven't seen. How many are there?
4.
I haven't seen that one.
You didn't see 4?
No. Good?
4 is like my third favorite one. That's only because the first and second one exists. I don't talk about the third one though. My trilogy is 1, 2, 4.
1, 2, 4.
Third,
interesting.
Remind me of the third one.
It's when Shrek has kids, and then King Arthur steps in because the frog guy Harold dies, so he has to go find King Arthur, and then Fiona is pregnant, obviously. So like Prince Charming becomes the villain of the third one, and he goes to like raid on Far, Far Away.
So the fourth one is with the contract that he signed.
Yes, and it's like A Beautiful Life. Is that what it's called? A Beautiful Life.
Basically,
where you're plucked
it's
out
a wonderful
life. A Wonderful Life. Thank you. It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah, no,
you should watch it.
Very good comparison.
Yeah.
No. Okay, I do like that one a lot. I've seen the fourth one. I like the fourth one.
Yeah,
I like the third one. Doesn't even, dude. I honestly, I feel like I have clips pop up all the time on TikTok. I've seen ones from 2. I've seen ones from 1, and I've seen ones from 4. Never has the third one ever popped up.
The third one is Garbaggio.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What else we got in DreamWorks? Kung Fu
Madagascar.
Panda. Madagascar.
It does not get enough love.
You are. I remember you being a Madagascar guy.
Madagascar is probably like my second favorite franchise from them. I think it goes Shrek, Madagascar, and then I'll give you like Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. How to Train Your Dragon.
That's another music one.
I know a lot of people like Megamind.
Yeah,
but the second Beyonce rides hard. For
the second one was ass.
Was it?
I mean, I haven't even watched it because of how bad the dude. All right, I feel like okay. I'm gonna settle this right now. I feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you haven't seen it? How can you have an opinion on it?" I'm like, bro, I can go off of like what 1,000 other people say. You know, like I don't know, but everybody seems to have the consensus that Megamind 2 was a cash grab. The animation quality is horrible. The story's
it was so weird that it even got greenlit because DreamWorks, like, what's his name? Katzenberg? Is that the dude that came from Disney? I want to say it's Katzenberg. But like, he came out and he was like, all right, we're not making movies like Shark Tale, Megamind, or I think it was Over the Hedge.
Shark Tale's a banger too.
Yeah. About that. He was like, we're not making movies like this anymore because they just don't grab attention the way that they should.
Megamind did great.
Yeah.
In his eyes, I guess it did not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like Megamind that much.
I like Megamind.
I prefer Despicable Me over that, and I know they came out around the same time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like the first one. I don't know about them sequels,
right?
And I didn't watch the Minion movies, but like the first Despicable Me, I was like, this is charming.
Yeah,
I just didn't get that with the first Megamind. But like Shark Tale
is fire.
I wish Jack Black used whatever capital he had instead of making Kung Fu Panda 4 to make a Shark Tale 2. And I feel like that would have, because
there's only one Shark Tale, right?
Yeah. But then that's also the fear that they make a sequel.
Yeah.
And then it's Megamind 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, but you could tell that they were not putting their full effort into Megamind 2 though.
That's
like
fair.
you can definitely tell, like when DreamWorks does give it their all for a movie, I feel like they consistently can make a good movie.
Like Puss in Boots Last Wish.
Yeah. Banger. Like so good.
Banger.
So good.
I don't like the first one though. You like the first Puss in Boots?
No, I agree.
It's kind of lackluster.
It's nothing special.
Did you hear today that they're in production of Shrek 5 and a Donkey spinoff?
A Donkey spinoff? That's something you should have done like 10 years ago.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we'll see where it goes because Eddie Murphy needs work. And that's okay with me.
And I feel like that may be one of the issues, or maybe why Finding Dory and Incredibles 2 didn't grasp as many people, because it's taking place right after the first one, but it took like 14 years to
I'm
make.
gonna hold my thoughts.
Yeah.
On both of those movies.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what I got a problem with in time.
In
time.
You know what I do think DreamWorks does really well though? I feel like they're really good at developing like a cult following for the certain movies. Like I feel like you have your How Do You Train Your Dragon fans, you have your Shrek fans.
Yeah.
Put
Trolls.
Yeah. Oh god.
Wow.
Boss Baby. The amount of people that roll for like Boss Baby.
That made a lot of money.
Yeah. They even made like a spin-off TV. I think they're also good at doing that. I don't think Disney's good at. When I was growing up, they used to like a movie would come out and then a TV show would spin off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pixar doesn't really do that, and Disney doesn't do that anymore. DreamWorks will. Like I remember Madagascar came out, and then on Nickelodeon you had the Penguins of Madagascar had a TV show.
Yes.
That was a fun show. I love that show.
I didn't like the movie as much as I liked the show, but it's a spin-off. You know what I mean? The one time that Pixar tried to do a spin-off, we got Lightyear, which wasn't received great.
Yeah.
But I don't think that should stop them from giving other characters the opportunity to shine in their own movie, not a franchise movie.
However, I do think Lightyear was a very odd concept for a spinoff to do. You know what I mean?
But I feel like
because they were trying to create like a realistic movie that the toy Buzz Lightyear was based on. But like that just it was
say
weird.
They made that 15 years ago when TV was like the gold mine era for TV shows, kid TV shows. I think you would have a different conversation here.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I think so.
But I think they might have just waited too long on it.
Right, exactly.
I feel like they chose the right character to try a spinoff with, but they just waited too long.
And then you have Chris Evans doing the voice of Buzz Lightyear. So like,
I was fine with that.
Right,
I know a lot of people were not though. I was like, he sounds like Buzz.
But I'm saying, you know, during that time, that golden age of like Toy Story, like Tim Allen's Buzz Lightyear voice, that definitely would have grasped people to a TV or a spinoff or TV show.
Which they had the show. They had the like 2D animated Buzz Lightyear show that like a lot of people grew up watching, and they thought that's what this movie was going to be, and it simply wasn't.
Yeah. Is Inside Out 2 the best Pixar sequel?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go no.
Okay.
A very worthy sequel.
I had to think of it. It's probably like the second best sequel.
Second best.
If I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
Actually, honestly, yeah.
Wait, are we talking like all
only
like the
two.
second movie, or are we talking third, fourth, whatever?
I was only going off of it's a number 2.
I was 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
No. It's the
that's
second
what I
best
was talking
sequel.
about. Yeah.
Because Toy Story 2 exists.
Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. We'll get to the list soon, but yeah, Toy Story 2 is definitely hands down the best Pixar sequel.
But like you said, this is worthy of being in that conversation with Toy Story 2, I think.
Which I think is nice, you know, seeing that it's definitely a step in the right direction. But like you said, give us one more, and then I think we'll
see
be there.
where we're going from there. Right,
exactly.
Which next year we get another original project.
What do we have next year?
It's called Elio, something like that. Like it was supposed to come out this year, but they swapped Inside Out 2 and that because they were
because they needed money.
Correct. Because Elemental wasn't doing well, so they were like, if we have 2 originals back to back, it may dampen anything that we've built up. So if we throw in a sequel, we should get in the good graces, which plan worked.
Yep.
So next year we get Elio. So we'll see how people take to another original concept when it comes to Pixar. But it seems fun.
Yeah.
Like they put out a trailer and then they pushed it back. I feel like that's bad.
Are we getting any Disney animation
this
soon?
Year? Moana 2.
Moana 2, that's right. That's this year.
Yeah, it's this year.
How you feeling about Moana 2? You're not here for it?
Disney doesn't do good with sequels. Like, if we're talking about like separate companies, like Pixar is its own thing and Disney, so Disney doesn't do well with sequels.
Trying to think. Name some sequels for me.
Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Okay.
One of the worst Disney movies I've ever seen in my life. Frozen 2. It's not awful, but it's not as good.
Okay. I remember seeing Frozen 2 in theaters. I don't know what I was doing there, but I remember enjoying it.
The music slaps, brother. The music slaps. Lost in the Woods on the playlist.
Is that the one where, oh, wait, how does it go, though?
That's that movie.
That's that one. Yeah.
What other sequels are they? They did Rescuers Down Under. That was their very first sequel, and it came out in the 90s.
You definitely see more sequels from Pixar.
Correct. Disney typically doesn't do sequels, so I'm afraid. And I guess to stay on Inside Out 2 for a moment, if I did have a negative, it's the fact that most of the places that we visited were things that we visited from the first one. Like the imagination, like the pillow fort thing.
Yes.
We did long term again. We did this. And I was like, all right, brother.
Yes. Yeah. I think I'm glad that you brought that up, actually, because it is one thing. We definitely were revisiting a lot of places from the first one.
And I was like, did we have to have the other emotion see these places?
And the new places that they did bring to us were like fantastic, and we could have spent more time
the
there.
Belief section, under everything, like even where like memories go to die off and stuff like that, and we go below that to really show you're at the core of that person. I was like, that's interesting.
I like the secrets room as well. Yeah, with the safe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah. Do you see a way out of here? Neither do I. That guy. If you wanted to give him like a Disney Plus little spinoff show, I'm fine.
When Anger was assaulting his ass,
like,
that was hilarious.
What else you got in here?
You just have dynamite.
He's like, well, good luck. I tried to give you the duct tape. I tried to give you this. I was
that was good.
Fauci is a menace.
Yeah.
Do not let him out of this mine.
That was good. Riley's deepest, darkest secret. You're not ready for that yet.
I was like, okay.
All right. Inside Out 3 then.
And then I did not know that there was an after credit scene until someone told me about it.
Yeah, there was. We left
it. And then you find out what the secret is. Do you want me to tell you or do you plan to see?
Tell me. I did not know that.
He says we burnt a hole in the rug. And then Joy was like, oh, that's crazy. I thought it was the time that we peed in the pool. And he was like, oh. And then he shuts it again. So I was like, oh, so she peed in the pool.
That's a callback to Back to the Future. Remember when he burns the rug? Like the whole thing?
Perhaps.
Wow.
Yeah. Perhaps.
How would that be a call?
That's a really deep dig.
I feel like that's a really deep dig.
I feel like whenever people talk about burning a hole in the rug.
Reaching.
I feel like whenever people talk about burning a hole in the rug, it's like a reference to Back to the Future now. Yeah. Yeah. You know that?
I'm not taking it easy on him.
Yeah. Wait, was that
That's Family Guy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fact that our son Marty that you insisted we name our son after that guy looks exactly like him.
Yeah. Do we have any sticky situation? Yeah. But Toy Story 2 is still the best sequel in my opinion.
I agree. Toy Story 2 best sequel. Garrett?
I'll agree.
Okay.
To be honest,
it wasn't going to be Cars 2.
I haven't seen Toy Story 2 in quite a while, but I'm not going to fight you on it because I'm just going to trust you.
Would you say that Toy Story 2 is your least watched out of all the Toy Story films?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think Garrett's a Toy Story guy.
More than 2?
Oh, well, I haven't even gotten to 4.
Saved yourself.
All right.
I don't think he's a Toy Story guy.
No.
Okay.
I'm not a Toy Story guy in general.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, just didn't grow up with Toy Story.
Well, you guys know me. I think it's overrated. The first movie is. As a franchise, I think it's good, but that first movie, we'll get to movies that are better than them when we all rank them. I don't know where you guys put the first Toy Story, but I know where I put it.
Okay.
That's just me. We'll talk about it later.
Do we have any other questions before we move on to our rankings?
Yeah. Speaking of Toy Story, do you have a favorite protagonist in these films that we follow?
Whether it be any Pixar movie or Toy Story?
Any
Pixar film. Oh, favorite Pixar protagonist?
Yeah, because Joy climbed for me in this one. Yeah. I didn't like her in the first one, but I was like, nah, now she's up there with people like Woody and Sully. Mm-hmm. I like her.
Ooh, you know what?
Take a gander at the shirt. I even like Flick. Flick is my boy.
Yeah, Flick's a good one. Okay, I would say if I have to go off of the ones off the top of my head, Sully and Monsters Inc. is up there for sure. I do love Flick from A Bug's Life. Kind of a package deal, but Marlin and Dory in the first Finding Nemo.
You keep trying to pull package deals lately. What's your deal?
But how's that not a package deal? How's that not a package deal? I
don't know. You every time we come up with a list now, he's like, all right, this one's a package deal.
Would you say that most Pixar duos are a package deal then? Or because you were able to separate Mike and Sully.
Yeah.
True.
You were able to separate Flick from
Ada. Right.
So are you able to separate Marlin from Dory?
Well, it's because in my mind, Marlin's not my favorite single protagonist, but I feel like them as a pair, I really do enjoy.
Okay. Which part of the duo do you like the best?
Dory.
All right, then say Dory.
Okay.
Yeah. Not the movie Finding Dory, but I'm just saying.
But her as in that duo.
In Finding Nemo. Okay. I mean, I love Finding Nemo. And we'll get to Finding Dory and what I like.
Think about it.
Yeah, what I like more about Finding. And I mean, yeah, Woody and Buzz are obviously your classic duo.
Sure.
But if we're gonna go single favorite protagonist, I think I might have to go Sully.
That's fair.
What about Wally?
So. A lot of people like Wally.
I like Wally.
You like
Is that
Wally?
Your favorite protagonist?
I like Wally as a protagonist. I don't know about favorite, but he's up there.
Okay.
Well, give me your favorite.
Honestly, when you said
threw it right back at you,
dude. when you did nobody's ever asked me that question, but when you said favorite protagonist, The first person that did come to my mind was Sully. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Sully was the first one that came to mind.
Great character.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Even though I do not have Monsters Inc. ranked super high.
Monsters University. That was your issue with it.
Yeah.
Is that they switch main characters. Which is what they're, you notice they tend to do for these legacy sequels.
Yeah.
Or even though that was a prequel, but you get the point.
Correct.
Right.
Do you think that Pixar should stick with sequels rather than making original films? Because it seems that the sequels will bring them
money,
not only prestige back with the audience, or likeliness with, like it'll get the audience back on their side, but then it also gets people talking, and then the money comes with it, rather than any of the original ones that have come out since like Soul or Onward. Actually, Onward got impacted by COVID, but like from Onward up till I guess now, because Elemental was the last original one. So do you think like after a string of original films that were either mid to this is good or really bad depending on who you're talking to, versus this one sequel that has come out and is now getting everybody back on their side, do you think they should stick with sequels?
I think there definitely needs to be a good balance between the original sequels, because once you get to territory where we're on Toy Story 5, I just think that's too much. Overkill for sure. But you know, Inside Out 2, like that's fine. I know they're doing Moana 2, which that's Disney. So I think if you just definitely give us the right balance, like we know Cars at this point is dead. Like don't try to bring Cars back or anything. So as long as you find that balance, and I know Zootopia is Disney, but like I really enjoyed the first Zootopia, so I'd be looking forward to the next one, which they are doing. So as long as there's the right balance and they're not giving us overkill like Toy Story 5.
Got you.
Will I see it? Actually, will I see it? Because I haven't even seen the fourth one. So I don't even know. I guess to answer your question, as long as there's the right balance.
Okay.
Don't give us overkill on the sequels, but if you throw them in there with the original content, because looking at it from a business perspective, I would agree that yes, you have to keep some sequels alive because you know it's going to bring in money.
Sure. It's a safe bet.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't think people expected Inside Out 2 to be doing as well as it is at the box office. I did not expect it to be doing this well. I'm going to keep
it honest with you, and I told you this.
Yeah.
When you were like, we're going to have you on the pod to talk about Inside Out 2. And I was like, brother, there's so many other films you could have me on there for. Why Inside Out 2?
It's the talk of the town.
I see it, and I'm like, I'll be there. I'll be there, baby. You're good.
Yeah.
So I agree that I didn't expect it to be Inside Out 2 to be the one that kind of like knocks everybody back towards their favor. But
because it seems like the original movies that we are getting from them are getting definitely more word of mouth. Like I feel like Elemental, when it first came out, it wasn't making that much, but then it started picking up from word of mouth, and the box office started picking up.
Which that's not the first time that has happened, because Encanto did the same exact thing. Okay, Encanto came out and it was pretty stagnant, and then people heard We Don't Talk About Bruno, and they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, this is a movie that I should probably go see," and then it jumped up.
The streaming numbers were
Disney Plus really saved some of these movies, and that's
I think that was
godsend for them.
I think that was the most streamed movie period like a few years ago.
That's fair. It was between that and Moana. Moana really doesn't come off of that spot for Disney either.
And so there's a lot of times when even those original movies don't do well at the box office, I definitely pick up a cult following a few years later and like, hey, you guys slept on this movie, and then the streaming numbers go up. So at the end of the day, Disney is a fucking 3-headed dragon anyways in this run. So I don't know. To piggyback off of that question for both of you, out of the new string of original films, is there one that you would like to see a sequel for? So you got like Onward, Soul, Luca, Elemental, Turning Red. I think Soul would be the one.
Yeah, Soul sticks out to me.
What would you do with a sequel? Would you focus on 22? Or would you still focus on Joe?
Probably 22.
Because Joe's story comes to a very conclusive end.
Yeah, no, I would focus on 22.
Okay.
Or do you do a whole new?
Or you could do a different. You could do a whole new.
Because I like the idea of 22 just going out into the world and we not knowing what happened. To 22. That's just my thing.
I say you give us a whole new character to go off of.
Yeah,
and just give us a different story.
Because I do like that whole like concept,
the idea
of how it works. Yeah. And I feel like they could just do the same thing, but with different characters.
Sure.
Yeah.
And obviously have a different conflict, not like, the same thing that happened. But
yeah.
I feel like realistically, the easiest one would be Turning Red.
Yes, but I don't want to see a sequel of that. We're going to talk about that.
Brother. I feel like Onward would probably have a good sequel too, because if I'm correct, that's more Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, if you just make up a new quest for the two brothers to go on, I feel like that's easy.
And like, you got a pair there,
right?
To go off of. Uh-huh.
So I feel like any of those three would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Pixar still needs big names to sell their movies?
As in for the voice actors?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think they do. That Pixar is the big name itself.
Okay.
I really don't. I mean, like, I would if I were gonna go see Lightyear, it wouldn't be out of my love for Chris Evans. It would be because it's a Toy Story thing.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
So do you think Jamie Foxx helped Soul? Do you think Tom Holland and Chris Pratt helped Onward?
I think with the type
That's
of
fair. That's fair.
No, I don't think Tom Holland helped with Onward at all.
I think because
I think with Jamie Foxx, and the type of story Soul was, because it was a black musician, and I don't know. I feel like Jamie Foxx that's literally who he is. He's a black musician who kind of has his hands in everything, and he's a very
so talented.
And he's a very charismatic person. Yeah. So I think his name attached to that was a very good thing for that movie
it was
in
just
particular.
An added benefit for you.
Yes, but I genuinely think anybody could have voiced Onward.
So it's not like back in the day where they were like, we got Billy Crystal, and we got John Goodman. Come see the movie.
Yeah. So I think that ties into, I think over the last 10 years, there's been a different appreciation for voice acting. I think, with social media and everything, people have come to realize like that there's a lot of talented voice actors out there who, aren't per se a big Hollywood name from live action movies. Like you have Tom Hanks as Woody and stuff. Like back then, that's going to sell. Cause like, it's Tom Hanks in a Toy Story movie. But I think there's just been a whole nuance and appreciation for voice actors to where as long as you're giving a hell of a performance, I think people will appreciate it and come to see it.
Because I don't think Amy Poehler was pulling people in. But like I've heard people have the discussion. Like I wondered if people were having a discussion. Like, did you show up for like Io? Did you show up for Amy? Did you show up for Phyllis from The Office? I think her real name is Phyllis, correct?
I think so. But
might be.
No, to your point. If there was an actor that I was going to go see for Inside Out 2, it was going to be Maya Hawke as Anxiety. It was going to be Io for Envy. It wasn't going to be Amy Poehler as Joy. Because I mean, yes, we've seen that, but also I think I was more excited to see Io because I love her work in The Bear. So even though
such a niche celebrity,
right? Though. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Is even though she's not as big of a name as Amy Poehler and the general audience, I'm going to go there for Io.
Would you put? In that regard, where you're like, that's like a niche actor, would you put Io in the same like realm as like, what's his name, Owen Wilson? Because Owen Wilson wasn't like turning heads at the box office, but then they put him as a car,
right?
And now everybody knows Owen Wilson. You know what I mean?
His comedies were still.
When Cars came out,
I think when Cars came out,
a much bigger name.
That's
than Io is
because. You had Zoolander,
Wedding Crashers, Shanghai Noon and Night.
Yeah.
So he was definitely a well-established comedian at that point.
I think they plucked Owen Wilson at the right time for that.
That's fair.
But like nowadays,
you're going to see Cars. You're not going to see Owen Wilson.
Exactly.
Fair.
So I think these days you don't need heavy hitting names like big A-list celebrity names to sell your movie. Maybe a character or two.
Yeah,
I think for sure just to have.
Doesn't need to be
a big name attached to it, but
doesn't need to be an all-star stacked cast. I feel like maybe have definitely a couple names in there, and they don't even got to be the main character.
Right.
Like honestly, I feel like you could pick whoever you want for the main character that you think is going to do the best voice acting job. But like if you want to have like say a side character who has like 15 minutes of screen time and that's a big celebrity there, just like get that guy. You don't got to pay him much, so the budget isn't crazy. Yeah,
they gave Daveed Diggs that one dude.
Yeah. Happens to me all the time.
Still having voice cracks at 30.
That is crazy, guys. Never expected it, and now it's on record. That's wild.
I'll have to cut that if you want me to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just run it.
We'll leave that shit in.
My last question for you two.
Okay.
Is there a character, preferably a side one, that you would like to see get the Lightyear treatment? Because I know we talked about it earlier, but is there one that you would rather them have their own franchise by themselves, their own story, not with everybody else?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me think about that for a second.
What do you guys think? I'm going to drink some water.
Grown Up Dash.
Specifically him?
Yeah. I like Dash's character a lot.
That's a good question. A side character, eh?
I mean, I guess he's technically not a side character. He's one of the main characters.
No, I would say he's a side character. You're fine. But when I think Incredibles,
well, the whole family is like kind of shares
is like the side character.
Okay, yeah. That's a good one there.
Frozone would be tough.
Frozone is always my answer that I go to in my own head.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that actually.
Frozone,
because he's always. I would love to see more.
He's a superhero.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so easy.
But also it's Samuel Jackson.
Frozone.
Yeah,
be tough. And then like to discover like maybe his family has powers or maybe they don't.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah,
maybe
like
the kids do.
Mm-hmm.
And the wife has to deal with being the only normal person and he has to make sure she knows that she's valued within the family and stuff like that. Could be interesting.
I think he got some there.
I feel like
and the good thing about voice acting too is like Samuel Jackson. He's still got some time left, so you can make it happen.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
I would say Tomater, but I feel like he's already got like Tomater's Tall Tales. I was
and they work very well for what they are.
Yeah.
Also, he's gotten so much screen time at this point to
where
he
was
really
also the main character in one of these movies already. Unfortunately.
Which one? And the second one?
Yeah.
He did have his own little side thing going on. It was pretty funny.
And you're just like, I ain't brother.
To be honest, I didn't connect with the family as much in Incredibles 2. I think
that's fair.
That's one thing I didn't enjoy in Incredibles 2. I don't think. Did it seem like Dash got slower in the second one?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not going crazy, right? Just seemed like he didn't move as quick.
Yeah.
Like I think his powers
was running on water in the first one.
I think his powers were showcased a lot more in the first one.
The part where he was just like hitting boy with like haymakers.
Yeah.
And then in this one, you're just like, it's an old man dressed as an owl, Dash.
Yeah.
Get him.
Get him
now.
Yeah, they did kind of nerf Dash.
Yeah.
I liked Violet's power showcased more in the second one.
That's fair. I thought they did well with her in the first one too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know like out of everyone, she's always like the family member that people talk about the least. Mm-hmm. I'm like, nah, she handled her handle on that beach.
Yeah.
When I was like, all right, I see why you're here.
Yeah, no, but Dash got slower in the second one.
Yeah.
That was interesting. So yeah, Frozone for the side character.
Ooh,
anything else?
What about an Edna spinoff?
That could be fun.
I feel like
that could be fun.
That feels like more of a TV show kind of thing.
Maybe
that feels like
what if it was
like Cruella?
What if it was like Edna before superheroes got made illegal? Like it was like a prequel, and it was like her working with different superheroes.
Ooh, okay, here's a question. Something like that. Should they bring back the Pixar shorts?
Yeah.
I could see a
especially
short
with Disney Plus.
I could see a short series with Edna.
Yeah, that would be good.
Didn't they stop the shorts at one point?
Yeah, and like even right now, we're still just like, all right, man.
Yeah,
it'd be great to see like side adventures that people go on and stuff like that. Like they did a bunch of Toy Story ones. Like there's the Halloween one. There's the Partysaurus Rex. I know that one because I worked at Typhoon Lagoon and that was like the theme.
The cleaning guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
From WALL-E, right? Mo?
No, the Toy Story one.
Never mind. I was the second one. Mo.
The old dude who cleans up Woody.
Yes. Jerry's game. Jerry's game.
You know where he's playing chess?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He just started going crazy. He's like,
yeah.
That's good. Also, there was no short on Inside Out. I don't remember. There was one on Elemental. Was there not?
I don't know.
I that's what I'm saying. I think they stopped the shorts.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember the last time seeing a short in front of a movie was Raya and the Last Dragon. And that's a Disney movie, but it was Us Again.
That did not do well.
No, the movie did not. But Us Again was a fantastic short.
Okay.
Did you see that one?
No.
It was where the old people, they went out into like the rain and the rain made them young again.
Okay.
So the guy was like, oh yeah, no, I'm back on the top of my game. My girl's here. Look at her. She thick. Yeah, baby. And then like, she was like, nah, but we had that time. Like we've already lived. Like, let's calm it down now. And he's like, I don't know if I want to do that, baby. Her right there. She looking at me. But then like he ultimately goes and he's like, nah, you're right. We lived this. But I can't remember if there was one on Elemental. I know I distinctively went for Inside Out. I was like, no. Elemental had the old man. It was his date wasn't it?
I'm not gonna know.
So Elemental did have one. It was like Carl's first date or something like that.
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah. So Inside Out too.
Okay.
That's weird that it did not have one.
No.
Sorry, I had to dig back.
No, you're good.
Speaking of Inside Out,
you guys know the one where
did
you say the one where the mom's like raising the dumpling? You remember that?
Bao?
Yeah.
Bao was tough.
Bao was good.
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember what?
Oh.
That was a good one. I don't know what movie it was on, but it was cute.
Oh, there was also, I don't know why they're just coming back to me now. The guy who won't take his hands out of his pockets. No,
I don't know that one.
He's like, maybe it's not even Pixar. I don't know. But he's like walking around. He doesn't really have like a care in the world. There's like a bunch of situations where he could be helping, but he had his hand in his pockets the whole time. And then like one day something happens where he finally like takes him out and like assists, and then he just like has a happier life because he's like helping people around him.
No, I've never seen this one.
No? Okay.
Well, now you give me a reason to go on Disney Plus when I get home, though. So
I
appreciate
maybe it's DreamWorks.
It might not even be Pixar, but I guess
YouTube
we'll find
and
out.
look up "Man Doesn't Take Hands Out of Pockets."
Yeah,
and I can't wait to see the results here.
You get a lot of different results.
I'm gonna have to clear my history real fast.
Someone just posting like a 9-hour video, just standing there with his hands in his pockets.
Dude just edging,
just ASMR, just rustling around in their pocket,
zipping some zippers and all that.
I'll be like, all right,
cargo
I'm
shorts.
Never listening to Garrett again, guys.
This isn't Pixar.
This isn't Pixar. All right, so we're gonna give you our top 10 Pixar films, and we'll do that one by one. But I did ask because I'm gonna be real with y'all. I haven't seen every single Pixar movie. There's 28, right?
28.
Yeah.
But I did ask Snowden because he has seen all of them.
Yeah.
And I asked him if he could rank all 28, and he could.
Here's the fun part.
So we're gonna let him spit some game right now from 28 to 11, and then once he gets to 10, we'll each give our top 10. I'm actually, the more we talk, I'm getting kind of scared now of my top 10.
I'm terrified now.
Yeah.
I was feeling okay about my list, and now I feel like absolute shit.
No, we're going to do great.
No,
yeah, I'm scared now.
We're going to do great.
All right.
Tell that anxiety to stop.
Oh, man.
She's going.
I'm telling you, I'm not the hugest Pixar guy. So it's like, I hate making lists that I'm not confident about. If we're talking Star Wars, I will sit there and defend to you every reason why I have every person where it is.
Okay.
Or if we're talking like Avatar: The Last Airbender, why I hate Korra, I will sit here and defend it all fucking day.
You could have said anything, guys. You were like, her.
I fucking hate Korra.
All right, Snowden, if you want to crank off this ranking for us.
I got you.
Let's hear your Pixar ranking starting from the bottom.
Number 28, I have The Good Dinosaur.
No!
If there is a movie that I struggled so hard to get through,
what?
It is Good Dinosaur. It had such an interesting premise. What if the meteor that hit Earth missed?
Yeah.
Like, how would we acclimate living with dinosaurs? And they went, what if we made it a Western? Why?
Why not?
And Arlo is like a boring static character for me personally. Like I just didn't get behind him. I thought Spot was cute. And even though I saw what happened to Arlo and his family, I thought not hearing the words out of Spot's mouth and just him demonstrating how his family is no longer where he's at, I was like, oh, damn, that hurt.
Yeah.
But I saw your pops die. So I should be feeling that same way about you, Green Dinosaur. But I don't. But I like that from him.
Interesting.
I don't remember any of the side characters. I couldn't tell you who or what a villain was in that film.
I think it was just fear.
Was that it?
Yeah. That's
to overcome fear.
Sorry, my voice was that it?
That is a good point, because like if you're gonna overcome fear, might as well be for like a courageous reason, right?
Right. And it took me like 5 times to watch that movie fully.
Wow. So Good Dinosaur was a recent watch for me. I'm not gonna lie. That had me more emotional than Inside Out 2. I can't even lie.
Whoa.
It did. Now here's what I will say.
He's not even on your shirt. The other Green Dinosaur is.
Hey, we can have 2 green dinosaurs if we want. But okay, so I will say I think the animation, like at least for the landscape, was very realistic, which kind of threw me out of this world. Like it almost looked like not animation, at least landscape wise. And at times it almost felt like a short story that was turned into a feature film.
And it was just stretched out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So I can't agree with that, but I think I just felt an emotional connection to this movie. I thought Arlo was just adorable.
Okay.
And
I'm not hating on anybody that likes the film. It just,
damn, dead last. That's crazy.
It just doesn't jazz my square. You feel me? It's just not my thing.
Damn. All right. Get to
I was about to say, like, we got 28 movies to go.
Yeah, we got to get through this.
27, I have Finding Dory.
Whoa.
Very unnecessary as a sequel. And once
low.
again, I just don't care. I don't like Dory as a character.
Aww.
I think she works well in the first one.
Yes. Yeah.
Because she has someone to bounce off of.
Yeah.
And like, she can be subdued at moments because of who Marlon is.
Yeah.
When you put her in the driver's seat, you no longer have that. And it's just her the whole hour and some change. And I'm like, stop.
And
please.
You do notice it is a shorter movie than Finding Nemo, just because I don't think there is as much to work with her as the main character.
Right. And then you feel bad for Marlon and Nemo because they just get thrown into the plot. And you're like, you guys really don't have a purpose here
Nemo
either.
Shit.
No. And then you get crushed in once again, the same thing with like Inside Out too. We're just doing things that we did in the first one.
Yeah.
But you're just having another character do them now.
Yes.
And I just feel like that sequel is very unnecessary.
Okay.
But as we go on, you'll pick up on a pattern for me. I don't like when they change the main character, which is what I really liked about Inside Out too. Joy was still at the forefront of the characters.
As well as Riley.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. It's not like all of a sudden they made anger the main character in Inside Out 2 or
anxiety. Yeah.
Correct. Which they could have done.
Yeah.
They could have done that because like she kind of steps up into that role where she's like, no, I'm trying to take over and all that stuff. But they still had the focal point be Joy, which is what I like about Toy Story. Inside Out 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Next I have Cars 3. It's so upsetting to see the champ be washed.
Yeah.
And that movie is the biggest jerk off session for Doc Hudson I've ever seen in my life.
I think I've heard
everything that happens in that movie. Whenever they ask Lightning, oh, how are you feeling? How are you doing this? Blah, 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 blah. How do you move forward? Well, Doc would have done this. Doc's this guy, man. You should be focusing on Jackson Storm because he's the one who showed the world you can't do what you do anymore. That's who you need to be worried about. I'm tired of hearing about Doc. I get it. The actor passed away. So this was their way of like sending off that character.
You could do it in another way.
They did it with Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Or 4. Don Rickles is not talking in Toy Story 3 or 4 because he passed away.
Oh.
They had all this extra audio from him and they had him be a side character like he's always been.
Oh, really?
But you didn't know that.
No.
However, Cars 3 is all about the fact that Doc died and the fact that Lightning McQueen is not at the top of his game anymore.
Oh, wow.
These two things, I didn't need them.
Yeah.
And Cruz Ramirez is an okay character, but
no, I wasn't the biggest fan of her.
Right. I was like, I know where this story is going.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was better. It was done better in like Creed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where like the young one pushes the old one back out of retirement to help.
Yes.
But it doesn't feel that way in Lightning McQueen's journey.
Yeah.
So that's just that. 25, I have Lightyear. Okay. I think it is a decent film with too many characters for what they're going for. The story gets away from it a little bit at points. I think Keke Palmer is really good. I think Chris Evans does well. The plot twist is stupid. And that's, unfortunately, that's what you remember from the movie is that plot twist of it's not his father anymore.
Yeah.
It's him. Just from a different point in time. What made you do that? I don't know. And I wish y'all wouldn't have. That's my issue with Lightyear.
Because the idea itself is interesting, right? You know?
Like,
right.
The other thing that I don't like, we already touched on it. To make me believe that this is the film that Andy watched in the 90s does not correlate with what I'm seeing on the screen.
Yeah.
The action figure doesn't even match that style of what Buzz looks like there.
Yeah.
So I wish they would have just completely made it its own thing.
Yeah.
And not tied it with the toy, essentially.
No,
and they were like, hey, the toy became big, so now we made a movie based off of him.
Right.
That's better than saying this is the same movie that Andy watched in the 90s.
Yeah, it literally
it ain't.
And it makes it look like his mom got him knockoff toys.
Correct.
Because he looks nothing like him. He looks nothing like him. Yeah.
Number 24, I have Cars 2. Okay. I don't hate this movie as much as everybody else does.
It's at the bottom of a lot of people's list.
Right. But I can tell you things that happen in Cars 2. I can't do the same for Cars 3 unless I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the action set pieces in Cars 2 are very underrated. Like the plane strip where like Finn is helping out Mater and all that stuff. I was like, this is tough. I get why people don't like it because they do switch the main character, but I think, okay. You know what I mean? It's not going any higher than it is. 23, I have Toy Story 4.
Wow.
I dislike this movie so much.
Wow.
If Finding Dory was unnecessary, this is extremely unnecessary.
Because that's honestly, I've seen some rankings. Toy Story 4 has been in the top 10 of a few rankings I've seen. Now, I personally haven't seen Toy Story 4.
It's absurd.
I thought Toy Story 3 was a great ending and a great send off. And then I heard Toy Story 4 was getting made, and I was like, why?
Again, that point to where how many sequels do you make? How many originals do you need?
And then
it made a lot of money. It did make a lot of money.
But number 5, they've already said that it's coming out, and they were like, we're reintroducing Andy. And it's like, then what do we get rid of him for?
Yeah.
And the third one to give him that beautiful send-off.
At this point, you're...
Oh, wait.
So, no, sorry.
Do you guys care if I say anything about Toy Story 4?
Not really.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Woody's not even there anymore. Woody's not part of the family. So how do you reintroduce Andy without his favorite toy?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
The one who has his name on his damn boot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. You made him a lost toy with Bo Peep. Who even missed Bo Peep from number 3? Not I. So the fact that the whole pitch of number 4 is, what if Woody met Bo Peep again? Stupid to me. I also dislike Forky so much.
Yeah, I can't control these on this shirt.
Put a name tag over it or something.
I don't even think Blake knew his name.
Well, it's kind of hard not to know his name.
Next, at 22.
Wait, but he's a spork.
Mm-hmm.
Why is his name Forky?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be Sporky?
Mm-hmm. But it ain't. But it ain't, Garrett. Number 22. This is where I'm probably gonna bother some people. I have Up.
Wow.
I don't like Up. I've watched it so many times and it just doesn't do anything for me. Once again, this was the movie that I was talking about. People always talk about the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I can give that to you. It's very emotional. It hits you.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the movie, very lackluster to me. I don't care about the villain. What's his name?
No, because I always see the video of Andrew talking about it.
Andrew, help us out.
Charles Minor? No, not Charles Minor. That's from The Office. It's like Charles Munz, something like that.
Munson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Charles Munz? I don't know.
Sounds about
right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
To be honest, for the longest time, because I've only seen Up maybe once, I completely forget there is an antagonist in that movie.
Yeah.
I just thought it's them going on an adventure with each other.
I mean, I'll agree with you. I think
why even have an antagonist in that? You know what I mean?
I felt like it was unnecessary. Honestly, like you were talking about, like, does this movie even have an antagonist in The Good Dinosaur? I feel like there are movies that don't necessarily need one.
That's fair.
And maybe that's
fair.
one. And
so I think that's one where they added one where it was unnecessary.
It felt shoehorned.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have he has like a pack of dogs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it does give the explanation for our talking dog. But I mean, it does.
It's just not for me. I appreciate my water bottle is from Up. This little bracelet right here, because I bought the water bottle, is from Up.
Yeah.
I like the little wilderness explorer thing.
Yeah.
But I will never watch that movie
as a movie.
Out of what can I watch?
I'll watch the first 10 minutes.
And then I'll turn it off because I think that's the best storytelling in the film. And that's just my thing. I like Russell as a character. He's a little cute little kid.
Yeah.
But
it is one that I don't go back to. Music's fire.
Fair. But I will not argue that.
But again, that's just Michael Giacchino being the Pixar go-to guy.
Yeah,
I mean, he did Up, Ratatouille, Incredibles, Inside Out. I mean,
he's gonna do his thing.
Yeah.
But you need the story to back that up, and I just don't think Up carries through for me.
Okay.
21, I have Elemental.
Okay.
I think this movie does a lot with not enough time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also don't like Ember as a character. Wade is a king, though. I love Wade.
Mm-hmm.
He was really willing to do anything it took to get her to where she needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. That's the point of the story. And the whole immigrant story of taking on the next generation and pushing it forward and, standing on your morals and all that stuff. I don't know. It nothing was done creatively with the idea of the elements for me.
Mm-hmm.
We play a sport, and since they're clouds,
it's called cloud ball.
It's called cloud ball
or some shit like that.
Like when we talk about things like Inside Out, where long-term memory is a thought that you guys came up with and you made it here that I can see and it feels tangible. And I'm walking through and I can see different memories and stuff like that. Nothing in Elemental really did that for me.
Yeah.
Even Wade's house, where it's all water and people have to sit on inflatable tubes that you usually sit in the pool. I was like, this feels lazy.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it feels lazy.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people like Elemental now.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't in the beginning, we were saying.
Right.
But then it hit Disney Plus and everybody was like, oh, this is a good little cute film. 20, I have Incredibles 2.
Okay.
I don't like switching main characters.
Okay.
And they did that in Incredibles 2. Well, I also think it's the biggest missed opportunity to start it at the same point in which it ended in the first one. Mm-hmm. I should have seen, to your point, where Dash has his own movie.
Yeah.
I should have seen Dash be an adult, or at least a teenager.
Yeah.
I should have seen Violet as an adult, not a teenager anymore, because they have that little age gap.
Yeah.
The mom and dad should have been out of the picture. It should have been about the next generation carrying on the superhero title.
Okay.
Well, and you wait.
I mean, you did just say that you don't like movies where they switch the main character, though. That would
That's
be
fair.
That would be good. They would still have to change the character.
You caught me.
But
that maybe they're still around.
But their grandma,
but they're like grandpa. We're just like, well, we're showing you the ropes. You know what I mean? Instead of like,
you also wait 14 years to release a sequel, so I don't think that helps.
Jack's
as well.
still the same age, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
And then,
especially when he has like 1,000 powers, like we want to see more of
that too.
You don't like that he has so many powers.
Bro. Pick one. Not everybody else has multiple powers. How did he get multiple powers?
He's OP. Actually,
he's OP.
I think they kind of treated his powers like like allergies, like how they can grow out of powers as they get older.
Perhaps. And then are you saying like one of them will ultimately stick?
Like one or like a few of them
how many
stick.
fucking allergies does he have?
A lot. But I don't know.
Jesus.
I mean, wasn't Edna talking about that? I feel like I remember her saying something about there's instances of babies having multiple powers.
Perhaps.
But Jack is special because nobody has that many like he has.
That's a lot.
He is a special case.
I feel like this movie was made specifically to showcase more of Jack, which if you would have done, they did a short about his powers, but if you did like one with him being older,
right?
Yeah, yes. That would have been a good short.
Yeah,
and then maybe you build a sequel off of that. Now it's a full family dynamic instead of one being a baby. Mm-hmm. I also hate the villain.
I was literally about to say was not a fan of the villain.
Well,
what was the name of the screenslaver?
Which was tough. Listen,
no,
as someone who collected Funko Pops at that time, I was like,
it was a tough Funko Pop.
I want to know more about. Well, I didn't know anything about him. I just saw like the name and like the figure itself. I was like, I want to know more about this guy.
Yeah.
What is this? And then like you saw the trailer and you're like, oh, that's interesting. Like people pay attention to their screens. Like maybe it's like a commentary on society now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he just threw that all away.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
What'd you do that for?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Just because mommy and daddy didn't make it out of that robbery.
Yeah. Little Bruce Wayne story.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Brother. Hey. I was like, that's what y'all went with? Y'all had 14 years?
Right.
Yeah.
You couldn't make it to an escape room when you could, not an escape room, but a safe room.
Safe room.
And I was like,
but dad wanted to call the superheroes. Like that was the thing.
Because here's the thing too. You're going to do all of this to make superheroes legal and then Uno reverse. Just kidding. This is so I can make them illegal.
Because they were already illegal.
Right.
So what was the point?
Right.
And then once again.
Well, I think she could just like, I mean, I'm not like totally defending her, but.
Sure.
I mean, she could see like public opinion swaying. So, you know, and especially with her brother's efforts, like her brother's efforts were obviously working to make supers legal again. So she was like, okay, well, I got to put a stop to this. So her only way was to flip it.
So you chose Elastigirl? Not saying Elastigirl's not the right character to do it with.
Yeah. Tell you what, I don't know.
In that situation, but like he is the danger to the family because he does not know. Yeah. That was the whole point in the first movie. Yeah. He does not know when to not be that guy. So I feel like if they would have made him the reason that buildings are falling now, or this, or you know, I can't save this, like all these people.
Yeah.
But like they chose Helen, who is there mentally. You know what I mean? Like she can think of a plan. She's the smart one of the two. He's more brawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
You chose her. Not even like the kids. Maybe you're like, yeah, we're going to put the kids at the forefront. And then the parents don't like that because they're like, no, wait, they still got time before they take our spots. So that's how you do a sequel where they're still the main characters, but you're still focused on the kids. You know what I mean? But instead, they just drop Bob altogether. And then essentially you do a replay of the greatest hits from the first movie with a worse villain and not so clear of a story, in my opinion. That's another situation where they just go, here we go. It's the first film again, but what if we just swap? Yeah. That's my problem with Incredibles 2. Music is good though.
He's good.
Animation is really good.
It's always good.
They also just not ruin, but Underminer was right there to be the villain.
Right.
Yeah, they did kind of.
First just disappeared.
Yeah, they swept that right under the rug.
And you never see him again. No. Never even hear a muffle of Underminer. Like,
I also don't know who decided to make Elastigirl so damn curvy, but all right.
This is the second time today. Y'all don't know it. This is the second time today.
It's not my favorite.
That.
I enjoyed this movie for the plot, and the plot was Elastigirl. No, it's not my favorite Pixar movie, but
3 times.
Next, I have number 19. I have Monsters University.
Okay.
I think this is half a good movie.
I was not the biggest fan of Monsters University.
No, and once again, they switched the main characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think they did good giving Mike a story. Like, that I'm playing second fiddle and it doesn't matter how much effort and time I put into it. I'll never beat you because of who you are.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The rest of the college stuff didn't need to be there. The college games, which is like what makes the movie fun, I guess, takes me out of the movie. Cause I'm like, I get why Mike is pushing so hard, but then we get derailed because he's like the principal or the dean's like, well, you can't even beat the college games. So how could you be a scarer? And it's like, so make him do scary stuff. Why am I in a tunnel with little pink things that blow my foot up? Why are we like,
you felt like the games weren't a true test of a scare.
Correct.
Yeah.
Except the final thing where they actually had to scare the kid
thing. Yeah.
That's when, so the beginning of the movie, the middle of the movie happens, and that's what I don't like. Okay. And then the end happens from that moment on, where they do the scaring thing and they find out the other team was cheating. And then Mike says, fuck this. I'm going over there myself, and I'm going to prove to you I have what it takes to be a monster, a scarer. I have what it takes. And then when they go over there and they have that beautiful moment where Mike and Sully are sitting at the lake, and it's just that one shot on them, and they're sitting next to each other, and now they understand each other. Great. If the movie was more of that, great. Also, I'm mad that we got a prequel to Monsters, Inc. instead of a sequel to Monsters, Inc.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive them for that.
Sequel would have been nice.
Right.
Also, you definitely could have explored their relationship differently than a university. Like the whole college aspect of it, I just wasn't very connected to that.
Right. Number 18, I have Wall-E. For everything that I said.
That's going to hit a chord with a lot of people.
Probably.
That's cold.
I think it's a wonderful movie in the beginning, and then it's a bad movie at the end.
Damn.
That's
going to
hit
a chord with people.
But I like it more than Monsters University.
I mean, that ain't saying much. That ain't saying much.
No, it's not.
All right, what's that?
17, I have Onward. It took me 2 times to watch this film to like it.
Damn, you like Onward more than Wall-E?
Yeah, I like no, you're good. The relationship between the brothers is very striking. And then as someone who's lost a parent, you kind of like see movies through a different light.
Yeah.
And you're like, if I went on this journey, it'd be something like this.
And I feel like that is a definitely a lot of thing about, that is one thing that people have different connections to movie with, is like what they've experienced with their own life, you know? So it all depends on that.
Like I never saved the human race with a flower. So I'm sorry, Wall-E's down. Then 16, I have Brave.
Okay.
Not that big of a fan of Brave.
I think that's higher than a lot
that
of
is
people.
Higher than most people, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, most people got it at like the bottom.
I like Brave.
I think it's good. It's not great. It feels like Finding Nemo, but for girls. It seems like instead of mom and dad story, or I'm sorry, son and father story, it's mother and daughter.
It's funny because I always thought of Brave as a Disney animated movie because that's what
it feels like.
That's usually the story you would get.
As a princess.
I genuinely didn't know it was Pixar.
Yeah,
I did.
Really?
Yeah,
that's usually.
Like, I remember they made such a big deal. They were like, "This is Pixar's first princess." I was like, "Okay, but is it a good movie?"
But is that Pixar's thing? You know.
Correct.
Know your lane.
That's what happens
when
what you streams get crossed.
Yeah.
Because like for a while there, a lot of people were confusing Disney movies for Pixar movies simply because they were like CGI.
Right.
Everybody was like, "Oh, Tangled is Pixar." No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, then Wreck-It Ralph is. No. Oh. So I can see where you're like,
Brave
I didn't know
Disney.
that was a Disney film. So
yes,
I feel like a lot of people were like right there with you where they were like, "Oh shit, I've been bamboozled a bit." Next, I have Luca at 15. This is a cute film. Once again, it took me a while to like it because my first time watching it, I was like, I see why this went to Disney Plus. I see why. But like upon like second rewatch, I was like, oh, this is a pretty heartwarming story. I like the characters. There's a villain, and the villain's a little asshole. So like, all right, that's fair. I guess I could put you at this number.
Okay.
This is where I started like the problem that you've been having, both of you, with like your top 10s, where you're like, I'm cool with like these ones. It's when I get to the middle, it's where things start getting like, where am I at? That's the moment that I'm in. From like Wall-E up is until I get to my 10. Then I have Ratatouille at 14.
Okay.
It's not my favorite.
That's gonna be a hot take.
Probably. It's not my
That's
favorite.
Gonna be
I'm
a
so
hot
sorry.
take.
Oh shit.
I'm so sorry. I'm not.
Might just need to quickly move past that.
All right. It's okay.
Damn.
Wait. I do want to say one thing though, real quick.
Do you?
You were giving up shit because you can't remember the name of the villain.
Yeah.
Can you remember the name of the villain in Luca?
Little Italian boy.
Exact. Wait, is that actually it?
No, he definitely has a name.
Yeah, he 100% has a name. So,
however, I can name you side characters in Luca.
Okay.
I can give you Alberto and I can give you Juliet.
Okay.
I can't give you anybody besides Carl and Russell.
Okay.
Do you just not connect with Ratatouille?
I don't connect with it. No.
What about the dog?
What the dog do?
All right, we're off of up.
Sorry.
Up.
Whatever. His name is Doug. But
Doug, yeah.
I don't know. I'm like trying to use his logic.
I'm sorry.
To see his point of view. I don't know.
We had this conversation earlier. I was gonna ruffle feathers. It's not my fault. I don't connect with that, and I don't connect with Ratatouille. But like I said, at that time when those films were coming out, I also didn't connect with them back then.
Right.
Yeah.
So at least I'm consistent on what I think is all right and what I think is not all right.
Okay.
I think number 13, I have the first Inside Out.
Okay.
Like I said, I just didn't. I don't like the pairing of joy and sadness together more than they need to be. And unfortunately, that's what the movie is.
Okay.
I can deal with Marlon and Dory because Marlon, like I said, knows how to be the complete opposite, but work. Joy and sadness together make me want to punch my screen. And it's because joy is so the personification of that emotion.
Right.
So she has to be joyful the whole time.
Yeah.
There is no other thing until like the end of the movie or like the middle of the movie where she's like, all right, I can feel other emotions within myself.
Yeah.
I did like that Inside Out too, where we do see Joy finally like snap. And break down.
But in the first one, I'm like, bro, if I was sadness, I'd pack you up right now. Like, you're not going to keep talking to me like I'm not supposed to be up there. I walked out of the same head you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like Bing Bong was cool.
Bing Bong.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of the inside of somebody's mind. 12, I have Soul.
Okay.
Good movie.
I'm going to tell you 11 right now is Turning Red. They're both right here because it feels like something is missing from both of those movies, and I do not know what it is. So I couldn't put them in my top 10. Both, I think they're fantastic movies. I know how you feel about Turning Red, but I think for what the story is about, and I think the characters are interesting, and I like them. Now we're at the top 10.
All right, now we're at the top 10. Now me and Garrett can have him.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of
nervous.
This
is where the fun times get funner.
Okay, let me think about this real quick before we get into this. Oh, fuck. All right. Oh, fuck. I got to get some other things. All right, let's do it. Let's just go into it. Here we go with top 10 Pixar movies. We're going to go one by one.
I also want to say, notice he didn't say oh, wait, never mind.
I did.
No. No, I was... Go.
Okay. Go.
I thought I was onto something, but I wasn't.
Okay. All right, so top 10 Pixar movies. We're going to go one by one, starting at number 10. We'll start with you. What do you have?
Finding Nemo.
You just killed his soul.
Oh, fuck. Okay,
so
number 10?
Number 10.
Garrett?
I just think there's...
hang on. Go ahead.
I have
Okay. I have Bug's Life.
Okay.
I think it's a slept on one.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah. 100%. I agree.
Yeah, you hadn't said a Bug's Life yet.
No, I haven't.
Ooh.
No, I haven't.
Damn, Finding Nemo number 10.
I feel like that's going to be high for you just based on your reaction.
Wow.
He's like, no, I haven't. Just wait, buddy. Just wait.
Finding Nemo number 10.
I think it's a wonderful story.
It is.
It's just, I think
once you get into top 10 Pixar, it's like all of these are
tough.
hits. Yeah.
It's in the top 10 though. I would never not put Finding Nemo in my top 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not mad at you if you put it in like your top 5 either.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations.
Damn, Garrett has
got up.
Garrett's
That's
up.
10.
Garrett's up on up.
I like Up.
Garrett's up on up.
It's a very heartwarming
What's the
story.
dog's name?
It's also very sad. It's Doug, bitch.
We just went over this.
It was a fun
comment. Bug's Life.
Yeah, I think Bug's Life is slept on. At this point, yeah, like 9 through 1. I think these are just, preference at this point. But I think A Bug's Life is a slept on movie. Yeah, you have some good characters in there. You got some good voice acting performances.
Good villain. I like the villain.
Fantastic
villain. In real life too.
Yeah.
What? Kevin Spacey.
Oh, that was
Kevin Spacey.
I didn't know the voice actor.
Yeah.
Just ruined it.
Yeah. But
Can't watch A Bug's Life anymore.
I think that was a great villain. You know, you had a nice like message in there too about the people coming together.
Yeah. And I love how it was like, that's why I like the villain, because he knew that too.
Right.
Like he was like, he was playing on that weakness.
He was like, you know, our villain was like big corporation or, you know.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I think more people need to watch A Bug's Life. We need to do that right now.
Revisit it.
Yeah. I also
ASAP.
Yeah. I also love the just the world building in that movie with like getting a bug's perspective.
Yeah.
With all these like little like raindrops was like a fucking tsunami for them. And
the climax with the bird.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
These are things that you would have never thought of.
Right.
Even the allegory of like the rock being a seed and like having that grow into something.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I just think it's a slept on movie.
That's right.
All right. Number 9.
The original Toy Story.
Okay.
Okay. I have Monsters, Inc.
It's low for me.
Okay.
I have Coco.
What?
Right? Right?
Dude,
this is what it feels like, huh?
I'm about to just pack up and leave.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Dang. 9?
Wow.
I feel like I'm not smart at all.
You know what? You know what?
Pixar.
I think this is where the age is coming in.
That's fair.
I think this is where the age is coming in because he's younger, so I think his time is definitely more of like Cars to Inside Out, which is the age where you didn't connect.
Sure, that's fair.
So I think this is where
I'm gonna cry.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, Monsters Inc. That number 9. That's crazy. Yeah, I got Coco.
I mean, I love Monsters Inc. But
it's top 10. It's top 10.
It's top 10. I got Coco. Beautiful looking movie. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm sure Coco's pretty high for you.
Yeah, keep going.
Great music.
Wonderful. The villain.
Good villain.
Yeah.
One thing I always hear people say to me though that aren't huge on Coco is that it's basically the Book of Life and that the Book of Life is better.
I've watched the Book of Life.
Yeah.
It's not.
You don't think it's better?
No, not even close.
Everyone always tells me the Book of Life is better. But I'm like, why does that going to
I don't think it takes away from
Coco. I think Coco's a beautiful movie.
It's odd. That's like saying, since they both take place in like the Polynesian islands, Lilo and Stitch and Moana.
Yeah.
The same thing, but Lilo and Stitch is better. It's like, no, these are two different
different stories.
Right. People can exist in the same culture and have different stories and stuff like that.
True.
But yeah, I didn't like Book of Life that much. As much as Coco.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's get back on that. Toy Story 1 and number 9.
Contrary to your belief, I don't hate Toy Story. I just think the first one is overrated because of we're naming films.
And again, top
that
10.
Can be better. Right.
Top
It's still in top 10. I think Sid as a villain is very realistic because I think if you were not that kid, you knew a kid that was like that.
Yeah.
I think the introduction of Buzz to Woody's life is a very interesting story for Woody and an interesting experience to see Woody go through. It's a good movie. The animation is the animation. I can't fault it for coming out in 95.
Yeah.
So I can't fault it for looking like that.
Pixar movie.
So I'll never blame the animation for the story. It's just I think as Pixar has gone on, they've made better films than their flagship film.
Yes.
That's
See,
it.
and that's how I feel about like Quentin Tarantino movies too. It is a lot of people have, Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, like the first two. But I'm like, look, I mean, Pulp Fiction's in my top 3, but Reservoir Dogs isn't. And it's just like, I think he just got better at making movies.
Which is fine. That's what they're supposed to do.
Right.
But I feel like nostalgia plays like a huge role in Toy
especially
Story
with Toy Story.
I think you were saying that earlier.
Yeah.
You're like, when it comes to this I'm sorry.
I
think we were all on the same subject, but we were like, when it comes to this franchise specifically, you cannot say anything about it because that's the one that everybody watched as a kid.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm going to say it. It's okay. There's other films that are better.
All right. Number 8.
Cars. Yeah.
Wow. Both Cars. I have Toy Story 3.
Right. All right. That was it. Boom, boom.
Oh, man. I know a lot of people are going to have like, wow, Toy Story 3 that low for the Toy Story franchise?
It's fine.
But I mean.
All right. But yeah, we have Cars.
You both have Cars?
I think that's a very solid place for Cars. Tow Mater's a very iconic character. He's hilarious throughout the entire thing. I think Cars is a very fun movie.
100%.
A lot of people aren't hung up on Cars, though, for some reason.
I think nowadays they are.
Yeah.
Nowadays, because those kids grew up and they're like, oh, yeah, Lightning McQueen.
It's not as nuanced as the other
Correct.
as the other Pixar movies.
Correct. Yeah. I'll tell you. Like when we're talking about like Pixar being more adult, I feel like at that point, this was the most adult film for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I guess it was because it felt like a deeper meaning to the story, like a more like intro personal story. Like, oh, dang, everything that's not all worth it. It's all right to like want this life compared to that one or have a mixture of the two. I think it's very good. I agree. Mater is up there for like side characters. Even all the other side characters are good. Sally, Sarge,
even his personal truck, Mac.
Yeah. We love Ratzenberg.
But even not even Tow Mater is like, you know, the comedic relief of the movie as well. But like, there's some good.
He has heart.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, like bro, he was heartbroken,
and you don't expect it because you're like, it's look at him.
Yeah,
he's a doofy looking character, but he delivers some good moments.
Good performance by Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah. I won't say anything about the preceding movies, or I already did. But that first one, good. Yeah. Also, Chick Hicks. Kachuga. Kachuga.
Is it Kachuga or Kachuga? It sounds like Kachuga.
You say one, I'll say the other one. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Kachuga. All right. So one of us will stick with that one.
Whatever.
Michael Keaton. That was Michael Keaton.
Who? Chick Hicks?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Michael Keaton. He's great.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. Michael Keaton. Oh, Michael Keaton's fantastic. Yeah.
Whoa.
Are you sure?
100%. 100% as Chick Hicks. Yes, 100%.
Dang. I didn't know that.
Kachuga.
Good performance. So yeah, 8 Toy Story 3 for me. Great movie. Very, very touching movie. I specifically remember seeing this in theater with my parents, with our family friends too, and her parents or his parents, and obviously like all the adults were just bawling at this movie. You got a great villain, and what's his name? Lotso. Great moments too with like Barbie and Ken in this movie.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Michael Keaton. Yeah. I knew that one.
Yeah. Michael Keaton popping up in here. I think the other ones may play a little bit more nostalgic on me, but I genuinely do think there are some Toy Story movies better.
Okay.
Number 7.
Inside Out 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it broke my top 10.
High up on Inside Out 2.
I really enjoyed it.
Coco.
Okay. I got Toy Story 1.
Okay. It's a solid
I think that's
list.
solid all the way around for 7.
Yeah. I'm not mad at any of this.
Yeah, you expressed how much, when Inside Out 2 connected with you.
Like I said, I just couldn't put it higher because of the things that I mentioned.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. Coco. Damn, I'm honestly surprised Coco was not top 5 for you.
Really?
Coco was like one of the few movies that I've seen hit like an emotional string for you.
Yeah.
Does that not happen a lot?
No, not normally.
And it's not top 5?
No.
Interesting.
No. Honestly, I think I just got like wrapped up in it at the moment. And bro, honestly, I just need to rewatch like every fucking Pixar movies. I don't know. I feel like my opinions just change so much on Pixar movies.
And I think that's why this list was
throughout
hard.
the years. Yeah.
I think that's why this list was tough to create.
Toy Story 1.
Right above 3.
Right above 3. And it's kind of crazy that we're going to have a lot of Toy Story movies take up these spots in this top 10.
Sure.
It was funny. I was just going back and watching some scenes today from Toy Story 1, and I'm like, I'm going to let the nostalgia hit because it definitely hits in this movie. Definitely one of my first like animated movies that I loved as a kid. The first one and the second one, Sid being the villain, I thought was great. And like, there was some scary like scenes in this movie as well that just were kind of unsettling for this kids Pixar movie. Different looking animation that was great, first of its kind. And
iconic third act. Like the breakout of Sid's house. And then making it back to Andy. The jokes. Toy Story 1 is funny. And they have a lot of adult jokes in there.
They do.
Same with the second one too.
When Woody's giving like Slinky's defending Woody. And Potato Head goes. One of the funniest jokes I've ever seen in it. Like as a kid, I didn't get it. I was like, oh, that's funny. But as an adult, I'm like, oh, no, that's good.
I just think Toy Story 1 holds up for sure.
100%.
All right, let's move to number 6.
Toy Story 2.
Okay.
Ratatouille.
I have Inside Out, the first one.
Okay.
I think it's at number 6 for me just because of how much of an emotional chord it strung for me. I'm not gonna lie, I bawled like a baby when Bing Bong.
Is that what got you?
Yeah.
Or were there other moments in the first one that got you?
Well, you know what helps too is the music. That'll definitely hit an emotional string for me. And it's funny because the music didn't hit for me as much in Inside Out 2. And afterwards, I found out why. And that's because Michael Giacchino did not return to do the score for Inside Out 2.
Oh.
Yes. So I just think the music hit on all cylinders because of our great composer, Michael Giacchino. And I think it just struck more of an emotional chord with me.
Sure.
I have Ratatouille at 6, right outside, because I do love the story. I think Remy is a very
likable character.
He is a very likable character.
Too, very relatable.
And I thought it was very interesting. It was just like it was a very unique story that he's just like using him as a puppet the whole time.
I even like the message that anybody.
It has a heartwarming message at the end. Anyone can cook, and I also love a lot of the theories that they have around this. Remy, the house that Remy was at was the mother of
his mom.
Of his mom, and that's why he made that dish, and that's why he had like such an emotional connection to it.
That is a good theory.
It is, but I'm sorry it ain't true. Dang. Or else our boy Remy would be like pretty damn old.
He can be an immortal rat. It's fine.
An immortal rat.
Yeah.
He works for
I have seen that theory.
No, I know. Rats only live like 2 years.
Yeah, good theory, but I don't think that theory's true.
No, I know. But I just thought it was a very cute story. That's all I got to say on it.
That's fair. Toy Story 2 takes the first one, ups the ante in the best way possible.
Yeah.
It introduces the right amount of characters. Stinky Pete is a villain. Very slept on. A lot of people like to credit Lotso with being like the best Toy Story villain, and you can make that argument. That's perfectly fine. But Stinky Pete, when I was in theaters, when I saw this in theaters and noticed that he was the one who was doing all the stuff because he got out of the box.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, he's dangerous. And then the part, like when he looked at Woody, he was like, listen, I don't care. We're going to Japan. I'll tear you apart and they can put you back together over there, buddy. Terrifying. And seeing like Woody's eyes go, you're like, no. Stinky Pete means business. I'm not that big of a fan of Jessie, but I think this is where she was the best when she was introduced. I also just like the idea of the other toys going on a journey and getting more character development and funny moments. Al as a villain is really good too. This is one of those films that have two villains in it. Right.
The chicken guy,
I think Toy Story 2 is better than the original.
And that adventure of the gang like trying to get from the apartment building up into his room and then to the over to the store. That whole store scene, the toy store scene was fantastic.
Funny Barbie moment.
Oh my God,
I'm Malibu Barbie. And you're just like, I'm a married spud. I'm like, this is funny.
All right. Moving in the top 5. What do we got at number 5?
I have A Bug's Life.
Slept on movie.
Very slept on. I think, as Garrett pointed out, people need to rewatch this movie as soon as possible. It's a wonderful film with a fantastic lead, great side characters. The villain is superb. Should always be brought up in top 10 conversations of Pixar villains specifically, or just in general if you really want to. The idea of the little guy standing up to the big guy and making a change for the betterment of his community.
People love an underdog.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And our villain Hopper knowing that if they all come together, we're in trouble. They're outnumbered. Yeah.
We do not beat them. And like the demonstration that he used where he was like, did that hurt? And he's like, all right, what about that one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he just lets all of it go. He's like, that's what happens when they realize they can do stuff to impact us, and we cannot let that happen.
I think Hopper,
that was cold.
I think Hopper being one of the more strategic villains is something that you usually don't see in the other Pixar
and you
villains.
Wouldn't expect it either because I feel like they normally do just have like a dumb villain.
Correct.
Yeah. So it is very refreshing to see like a calculated villain.
And even like
understand the reality of his own situation.
Yes. Yeah. And then like it's easy to put that into real terms of if we all just came together for like 10 minutes and realized that we have more in common against them, we'd be in a better
each
spot.
Other.
Correct. But because they play this game so well, we're all just beating each other up instead of going after them. Bug's Life needs to be watched again as soon as possible.
Number 5.
I have Toy Story 3.
Okay.
Personally, Toy Story 3 is my favorite Toy Story movie.
All right.
There we go.
I'll have to disagree with that.
I think, and I am one of those people who also thinks Lotso is the best villain.
That's fair.
I like
not.
I like Lotso.
As long as you don't say Gabby.
Mm-hmm. I will say Toy Story is very good with like the turns of like who the villain is. Yeah. So, because you don't expect it. You don't.
No, they present him in a very cuddly way,
and that's exactly what his character was. He was a freaking teddy bear. Like, what else are you gonna think about this guy?
He was ready to let them burn, Garrett.
Dude. He was.
Yeah, that man is dangerous.
He was cold.
He was cold.
Golly.
Number 5, I have The Incredibles.
Okay.
I know it's gonna be a lot of people's number 1 or top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the 4 in front of it, I just personally connect more emotionally to. But no, I mean, like a lot of people say, during that time, you know, the superhero genre wasn't really saturated yet. So this was definitely a nice change of pace when it came to the superhero genre, something original from Pixar as well.
Yeah.
Great characters. You had a lot of great moments in there too, showcasing each of their powers. A nice, unique story, music. Michael Giacchino just does his thing, you know.
Villain.
Yeah, great montages in there as well.
Once again, like you were saying, the presenting the villain right here, and then you not realizing who it is until he explains who it is, and you're like,
oh,
that's good.
Yeah.
Damn, buddy.
No, honestly, The Incredibles is just a great time.
Yeah.
It is a great time. All right, number 4.
Coco.
Okay.
I think if you were to ask me before this movie came out, when we were talking about like, hey, is Pixar back? I would have been like, this was their first step. This is the Inside 2 before Inside 2 happened. And I was like, whoa, this is wonderful. Like you said, the world building.
Yes.
The culture is like baked into the script and the story.
Yeah.
I learned so much from this film and then went out to learn more.
Yeah.
Like it inspired me to learn more about Mexican culture. I didn't know about that prior to it. The music. Is wonderful and takes you on a journey in its own right. The characters
and the music is part of the story as well. Yeah.
Correct. It's not like it was a afterthought.
Yeah.
It was there from the beginning. The characters are very endearing. Like the journey that Miguel goes on, and you're like, oh, I get why he's doing everything that he's doing because he has a dream, and he's like, people are telling me that I cannot do this, so I need to find a way to do this. And then him going on that journey and realizing that like your new best friend is actually the guy that you want in your corner. It's not that guy. And that twist, once again, Pixar does a fantastic job at twist villains.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, you didn't know it was Ernesto.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, I don't know why Hector doesn't like him, but I can tell you he seems like a chill dude. And then when you get to the turn, you're like,
yeah.
And the end was
Bro's a murderer.
Yeah. Cold-blooded.
Yeah.
That's crazy, actually.
Crazy. But like, I just think it's a wonderful film and it deserves to be in top 10. I'm not mad at you if you don't put it in top 5 or anything, but top 10 is definitely where it belongs.
100% agree. Out of like the, newer Pixar movies, that's definitely one that has time and time again, I think, stayed in a lot of people's top 10.
Yeah.
I have Inside Out at 4.
Ooh, big on Inside Out.
Yeah.
All right.
That's another one that like that one tugs at the heartstrings as well for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be honest, I thought it was like scary when Riley couldn't feel anything at the end. I thought that part was like terrifying because I feel like that is a common thing when you're feeling such a wide range of emotions and like you just kind of shut yourself off because you're like, I can't deal with this range of emotions anymore. Like I can't work myself up like this all the time.
Talk your shit, Garrett.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So and then when that board, like I feel like I have felt that at some point.
Okay.
So that's where I was like,
so you felt that.
Maybe not that extreme.
Right. No. I was just comparing it to earlier when we were talking about the anxiety attack. You related more to the attack that she has in the first film rather than that one.
Yes, which is why I would which is why I have this higher.
Respectable.
Yeah,
I got you.
And yeah, like you were saying earlier too, I thought the stakes were higher.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Like she was coming up, she had a really shitty idea to go, you know, like just ditch her family and run away back to her home.
Right. World's a dangerous place.
Yeah.
I got you.
Number 4 for me, I have Ratatouille. I
like the way you say that.
Ratatouille.
Yeah.
You know what? Now I'm thinking about it. It's kind of funny. They got some American Joe Blow ginger cooking. Anyways.
Anyone can cook.
Anyone can cook.
Anyone can cook. Yeah, I don't know. The music was fantastic. Beautiful looking movie. I love Paris. Even though Paris may not look like that in real life, it did look beautiful in that movie. I've been seeing some TikToks these days of like Paris during the daytime. Nighttime, yeah, that's cool, but during the daytime, it may not look the same as it does in Ratatouille.
Gotcha.
But man,
did the movie make you two want to eat that dish?
Yes.
100%.
Have you eaten that dish?
No. I always thought there was like some kind of meat in that dish, but there's not. It's like all vegetables.
No, yeah.
It's all vegetables.
I always thought that too as a kid. I also just kind of love when these Pixar movies can make you so attached to like non-human characters.
Sure.
Yeah, which you'll notice a lot in my top 5 of this ranking.
Okay.
Which is maybe why, some movies like Soul isn't in my top 10, but maybe just outside.
Mm-hmm.
Or, Coco being just inside the top 10. But yeah, I really do love the Pixar movies that make me connect to non-human characters.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Number 3.
Toy Story 3.
Okay.
This is my favorite Toy Story.
Okay.
Growing up, when I did being able to see the first one, then the second one, and then the third one being at the right age where I was also going off to college and doing my thing.
Yeah.
It was just very remarkable to see this journey that these toys and this kid unknowingly have taken, and it left a huge impact on me. I think this was the first Pixar movie that made me cry.
Yeah.
So
really,
yeah, banger of a movie.
And also a great send off. Like I just wish they would have stopped it there.
Stopped there.
They should have stopped.
That's all I got to say because you guys have already said enough about Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
At number 3, you're gonna hate me. It is WALL-E.
I don't hate you.
What?
But hate you.
You fucking suck.
I don't know. I was expecting a brother.
No. I know why. I can guess why people like it. I'm gonna listen to you right now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you've highlighted the highlights for me. Like the beginning is amazing, and the ability. I loved Pixar's ability to display so much emotion without dialogue. I thought that was extremely impressive for this one.
Or even like the fact that they're allowed to emote as much as they are as robots is even done very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like WALL-E literally just has 2 eyes that are going like up and down all the time.
Correct.
And the way he says Eva, like that's like those were the only 2 things he had to express emotion, and they used it to its fullest fucking capability.
Thumbs up.
Yeah,
thumbs up.
Great cinematography. I do like the story. Like I mean, I will say the humans aren't going to be my favorite characters because that's they're just lazy people sitting in chairs all day.
Sure.
Like, but that was the whole point, was to teach them to care again and come back to Earth.
I'm going to rewatch it tonight, Garrett. All right. I'm going to rewatch it tonight. I'm going to try Up too. Okay. And I'm going to text you 3 characters.
Oh shit. Number 3 for me is Toy Story 2. I think this is the best Toy Story movie. I just rewatched it a few weeks ago, and I don't think it lost any flavor at all. If anything, I thought it got better with age. I think it's one of the best sequels ever. I just love, this set of new characters that Woody runs into. We get Woody lore, which I think is really cool. With the Roundup Gang and like his TV show. He's kind of getting this whole new nuance perspective of who he is. Buzz realizing like he's just a toy. We get that whole toy store scene where we have like the 1,000 buzzes. Barbie.
That's good too. I sometimes forget about that.
Yeah.
That they end up with a different buzz.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's wild. I forgot about that aspect of the movie.
Isn't this where we see, what's his name? Zurg?
Zurg.
Yes. As his first appearance.
Yeah.
We get Zurg, which is great, Star Wars reference
moment. Where they
moment.
realize which one is the real Buzz. They like flick the thing down. He's like, and they just go.
Dude, it's great. No, this movie was hilarious, and it's funny because when
he was speaking Spanish,
we watched it a few weeks ago, and my girlfriend just put it on for background noise while we cooked, and I just stood there watching the whole movie. I'm like, you can't put on Toy Story 2 and expect background noise. Like I'm gonna sit down and watch it.
Fair.
What else? Yeah, the whole adventure of them trying to cross the street and get to the toy store and back
cones.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of funny moments in this movie. And it's just a great adventure in Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
I love Toy Story 2 so much.
And the fact that it wasn't even supposed to exist.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Ended up being as good as it was.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Toy Story 2, best Toy Story movie and top 3 for me. Number 2.
The Incredibles. I think it's a wonderful family film. I think we've all touched on the good parts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can barely name any bad parts if there are any. I think The side characters are enjoyable, whether it be Frozone or Edna. I think they add flavor to the movie.
Yeah.
The family dynamic of everybody coming together and ultimately becoming the Incredibles is really nice to see. The idea of this one superhero thinking he's out of the game, but then doing what he can do to get back into the swing of things, really good. 10.
Yeah.
It's a 10. The action.
Yeah.
When they're taking on the Omni Droid.
Yeah.
Come on. The idea, like when you realize that the reason why the superheroes aren't around is because they've been getting plucked off by Syndrome.
Yeah. Crazy.
Deceased.
Wild.
Yeah.
You're just like, he really out here collecting heads.
Location unknown.
Yeah. Which is even more terrifying. And he's like looking up his friends.
Yeah.
He's like, I know these people.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get in contact with them because him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's wild.
Great film.
Yeah.
Maybe I could bump that up to 4.
I like your point that there's like not a wasted character, because I don't think there is a wasted character in The Incredibles.
Because you would think like even Mirage, who serves like a little part, but it helps the story move along.
Yeah.
So yeah.
At number 2, I have Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Fair.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 2 for me, I have Monsters Inc.
Okay.
Monsters Inc.
Dang. All right. Well, now I know why you guys hated me when I said 9. Finding Nemo. This is another one that tugs at the heartstrings. I feel like once you get to the top 5, it is like the most emotional ones for me. Dory was just like an absolutely lovable character. And yeah, she does need Marlon to go off of, because her on her own, it does it gets exhausting.
Yeah.
I think like some of my favorite scenes are in the fish tank when Nemo's like interacting with all
fair.
the I love all those characters.
I'm a Crush guy personally.
Yeah. Oh,
but the fish tank. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Fucking Darla.
Oh my
God.
Frightening.
The starfish killed me. How she was like the security, like basically they're warning, like, hey.
I love Peach. She's great.
But yeah, 2. I have Finding Nemo then.
All right, yeah, 2
Visually,
for me.
Finding Nemo is beautiful.
Yeah,
too.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. Honestly, that's another one. Just a lot of great characters. You got Crush, you got the sharks, you got
the sharks. No one ever talks about them, but you're right.
Yeah.
Even like the dentist, like he's not a bad guy.
No,
he's just like, hey, I just like fish.
Yeah, and and there's even scary moments with the anglerfish.
Yeah,
like I feel like let's
talk about the jellyfish scene. We could talk about the bombs, the
sharks in general. When Bruce gets a sniff,
dude, there's
the whale.
There's some scary stuff in
which
here.
is like if you're claustrophobic, you're like stuck in a whale. Oh my God.
Marlon going through this entire journey just to see his kid dead potentially.
Yeah,
and then like he just goes off home because he's like, that was the last bit of family that I had.
Yeah,
and he's gone. I could not protect him, just like I couldn't protect anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you for putting it at 2, brother. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Monsters Inc. number 2 for me. This is one that just holds up so well, in my opinion. My God. I mean, going back and just rewatching that scene with Sully and Boo at the end. And oh my God. And she's like, kitty.
She's handing him toys.
Bro.
Because she's like, you're going to stay.
Yeah.
Bro.
You're going to be here with me forever. Here's this toy.
Dog.
Whoa, let me show you this drawing.
Dog.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my God. My fucking heart, bro.
Yeah.
Thinking about it now.
Cut
I'm
it
like,
out.
Oh my God. Fucking
cut it out.
Cutting some onions right now, bro.
I see.
Dude, this movie holds up so well. I think we have great villains in this one too. Great characters in general. Randall's great.
The twist of Water News.
Yeah. Yeah. And the scene.
This isn't her door. You're right. It's yours. Boom.
Yeah.
That was on Sneaky Pete level.
Wait a second, brother.
I don't trust anybody anymore.
The whole scene with the Abominable Snowman too is great.
Yeah.
Shit. It's
Roz. Roz is an iconic character.
Mm-hmm. This movie just holds up so well.
I wish I could do her voice, but Velocicoaster took my voice from me yesterday.
It was I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Is that good?
It's great.
That's it.
This movie just holds up so well to me, man. Oh, I fucking love Monsters Inc. All right, number 1.
Monsters Inc.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Damn.
Everything that you just said.
Yeah.
It's so good. They're the only duo that challenges Woody and Buzz for me.
Yeah.
They're great together.
Yeah.
I love this film. The music, the idea of what I like about Inside Out and how they use creative judgment to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of making this world of monsters feel real and using Scream to power everything.
Yeah.
And like how integral everything is to that power. And then for the head monster to then see, oh no, we've been doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got to make a change. This cute little girl. Damn. How do we do this? And then you have, like you said, Randall. You have Water News. You have like the little machine that they were going to use to extract screams from kids. That's frightening. Imagine like you being a child and you're strapped in and this thing just like sucks your scream out.
Yeah.
I don't know how that sounds, but like that's terrifying because like it drained the one guy.
Yeah.
Like they were not making sure these kids were safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's scary.
They were going to resort to like unethical practices.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Fantastic film.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the prequel.
So good.
I don't hate it. I just don't like the prequel that much.
Yeah. No, and I think that that's like a speak on like corporate America, you know, them doing unethical practices to get the most profit or whatever's quickest. Yeah, that kind of thing. So very real aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number one, I got Incredibles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Number one.
Dude, to be honest, like this is probably just like my safest go-to Pixar movie.
I was gonna say this was the one that you said you're solid on. You're like, I'm not touching at least the top three.
It's just I if this is ever on, like I will never not sit there and watch it.
Okay.
Like I just absolutely
Is this the most nostalgic for you? Is
probably,
The Incredibles?
dude. Honestly, and you know what's funny enough? I always think of Incredibles when we went on that train trip and we were watching it. I
feel like we did watch the Incredibles a lot.
Yeah, I feel like we brought like we would bring this on like trips, and we had the little movie player. It was like this is just
the little one that looks like a laptop.
Like when it comes to Pixar, like Incredibles is home for me.
Okay,
so
okay,
that's why this one's going
so
up
is
there.
The sequel
and
lackluster to you?
What's up? I enjoyed the sequel. Okay. I did feel like it was kind of on repeat. You know, I feel like they could have went a different direction with the story for sure.
But you'll take it for what it was.
I'll take it. Yeah, no, I did it. I did enjoy the screen time that we got with our characters that we love again. But yeah, I agree the story could have been better.
Sure. All right, you know what home for me is?
Let's hear it. What haven't I heard from you?
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
That's good. Yeah, I knew that one was coming.
You know, I think this is just my favorite world and like vast ocean, vast open ocean, which in itself is a terrifying adventure.
Beautiful and terrifying.
Beautiful and terrifying. And there is a lot of beautiful and terrifying scenes in this. And everyone talks about the first 5 to 10 minutes of Up being the saddest.
Yeah.
The first 5 minutes, the opening scene of Nemo is what we need to be talking about.
That's fair.
Because I'm telling you, short story. Me and my girlfriend were just about to go to bed. I'm scrolling through Twitter, right? And you know how these days people will post like full ass scenes of movies on there?
Yeah.
I sat there and watched the whole last opening scene of Finding Nemo on Twitter one day and was just bawling my eyes out before going to bed.
That's so odd that people do not bring that up, right? But they bring up the Up one. I didn't even think
about
about that.
But they don't bring up Finding Nemo's opening scene, which is just as heartbreaking,
if not more.
Yes. Like it's not even, it's not even not being able to have a child. It's losing your child, all your kids,
wife.
and your wife.
Yeah. And you're just not stuck, but you're left with
no, you
one.
get one.
Right.
Yeah, and you thought, and you were like just grateful to have even that. And to think that child that you had is about to die throughout the entire movie, like that's,
Not to mention the music.
Yeah.
Music is so fantastic in Finding Nemo. I don't think there are any wasted characters in this movie. No. I think each of them gets like their own little moment to shine.
I like the Tank Gang.
Yes, absolutely. The Tank Gang. And like there's just some beautiful scenes like the jellyfish scene, which is fantastic, scary scene.
Yeah. But then Dory just makes light work of it.
Well, I didn't even think about it because she's like, what if we
not
just
really.
bounce?
Not really. Dory gets fucked. Remember? He's got to go find Dory because she knocks out.
Because all the other jellyfish come in, right?
Yeah.
But she was doing all right.
She was.
She was going for that high score. Yeah. She was doing it.
So I think this is also just like my favorite adventure and that having to be through the vast ocean, which is the most terrifying place on earth, to be honest, is the ocean because there are so many unknown parts that remain.
We know less about the ocean than we do space.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's crazy. Is that for real?
What?
I think that's real.
I think I've heard that too.
We know less about our own ocean than we do about space.
Which is insane.
Oh.
I think the ocean is terrifying. So there's something about also...
I don't go to the beach because of this.
Really?
I think it's terrifying.
I love
Something
the
touches
beach.
my foot, I'm running home.
But I think
Ghost.
I think there is something about seeing something terrifying on screen that can keep you so engaged.
Sure. Because it's still a human story.
Right. Yeah.
And it makes you care for someone that's not
and
human.
again, the non-human characters for me.
Another movie with no wasted characters.
No.
Every single one added something to the movie.
I love Finding Nemo, man. That's home for me.
Good conversation,
That's
fellas.
home for me.
Our number ones, none of them were Toy Story.
No.
None of them were Toy Story.
Which honestly, I don't think a lot of people do. I don't know.
Really?
Maybe
I
our
feel like
age.
the cool answer is to be like, yeah, Toy Story is my favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, once you sit down and you talk about it or you think about it, you're like,
And each
they
one
deserve to be in the conversation, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't put you as my one.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not a problem, but I just feel like people
Yeah.
do a disservice to the rest of Pixar's catalog
Mhm.
Yeah.
because
Yes.
Toy Story is Toy
Yes.
Story.
And before you guys realize it later, Toy Story 2 was not in my top 10.
Oh my god.
Only reason why dude, like it's literally just the fact that I probably haven't seen that since I was a child. Like I do need to rewatch Toy Story 2.
I think
And
it's the
I
best
wasn't
Toy
going to put it
Story.
on here because I genuinely could not even talk to you
You
about
were
it.
saying that you were having problems with 5 and 6.
Oh, well, those got switched to even lower spots because I moved Toy Story 3 up.
Okay.
So I was just debating what to put higher, Ratatouille or Coco. And
fair.
I put Ratatouille over Coco.
Okay.
I'm
That's
shocked.
what
I'm honestly shocked you did that.
He was stressing about that.
Yeah.
He's
Really?
like, these are the two I don't know what I'm doing with.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can't wait to hear.
I stay by my opinion.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
It might change in a day,
I'll
but
stand
who
by
knows?
You might watch Toy Story 2?
Yeah, it could all. This could all be fucked.
I definitely will always stand by Toy Story 2 being the best one, and Finding Nemo being number one for me.
Respect that.
I might go rewatch Finding Nemo tonight.
Well, I have to watch one.
I think I might watch Toy Story 2 after I finish House of the Dragon. But
Oh shit, that's right.
yeah,
You're
Alrighty.
going from one side of the spectrum
Right.
to the complete opposite
Oh, yeah.
one.
Yep.
Get ready for that whiplash.
All right, well there you have it for our Pixar ranking. All 28 from Snowden. So I hope you guys enjoyed his 28 movie Pixar ranking and our top 10.
because we could not have done that.
No, yeah, that's a lot. So props to you for being able
Thanks.
to do that.
Thanks.
Props to you. Anything else before we head out for this episode?
It's so nice to be here. I appreciate you two welcoming me onto the podcast. I know
Absolutely.
we've been talking about it for
Yeah.
a while. So nervous to be here with you fellas. So
But
nervous
now that you're
to-
here,
it's
you're
I
good.
feel like we're family
You're
now.
good.
It's so
Good,
good.
Yeah.
This was so fun. I
was
see
a lot
why
of
you
fun.
guys do it.
Right?
It's so fun.
Right. We'll have you on again. And like I said, it was
Absolutely.
great to even have you on during MegaCon as well.
Yeah.
I thought that was a lot of fun. Out and about, out in the wild, getting some good answers, some hot takes out
Yeah,
there.
man. That's where it all started.
Yeah, I know, right? I was gonna say let's get some hot takes from you here, but you've heard them. You've heard them already.
Yeah.
You've heard them
That's
already.
fair.
It just came with the list.
I'll have to
Uh-huh.
save some for the next time I'm here.
Yeah. So yeah, great to have you on here. And I think that's been also just a beautiful thing about doing this channel as well. When you just sit back and like realize how many people that you do meet through this that you never would have.
Yeah.
Like, us doing the channel, you would have never known who I was fucking walking into Animal Kingdom that one
Right.
day.
Yeah.
Right.
And just how small world of it is that we run into each other that specific
Right.
day, that specific time.
Shout out to that wedding for making me walk out at that exact moment.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. So I think just this whole like community that, this channel has been able to build for us and everyone has been great. So thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for
Yep.
having me, guys.
No
All right.
problem.
There you have it. Inside Out 2, Pixar ranking. We'll see you guys next time on Blake's Takes.
See ya.